Welcome to Diamonds and Dice. You know the show. If you've been watching any of it on YouTube, that's fucking awesome. Fuck. There you go. Don't let tradition down. We're minus two boys, Josh and Jonathan, players of Mickey. Yeah. The Mickey and Bonham will be out for this particular game. We miss Jonathan. We miss Josh a lot. Yes, he will.
The mighty and noble steed.
So
I guess it's not a steed, but still.
When we'll be role-playing Kusith, Gary, and Dozer.
When last we met, the players decided...
We killed everybody. It was great.
Pretty much. The players decided that... She's great. The players decided that even though they were low on resources, they were still brave enough to try to save Dathersport from Rook and his terrible plague that he was unleashing with fireworks. The players immediately rallied Bonham's god through use of Nyx. As she went to go heal them, she went ahead and gave them the level that they would have gained for beating the foe ahead of time for their bravery. And they came in fully charged, and once they were in the fight with Refusel and Rook, they actually avoided Rook altogether and started attacking Refusel pretty exclusively because they hate him. Through the combat, many shenanigans and fuckeries were done and heroics. And then at one point, Marzio had made notation that the coffin was important this whole time. Every combat, rewatch the episodes. He cut it free with his adamantine rapier, and then kicked it off, watching Refusel's actual body fall to his final inevitable demise. The players defeated Rook with Mickey O'Neill shooting a magical item out of his pistol, which once it entered Rook's head, counteracted the magic of him being reborn, and that ends the two main villains. So Terry's out, so we're gonna hold up until he gets back. He's picking up the food for me, isn't he? Mm-hmm. God, you guys are sweethearts, I swear. How much do I owe you, by the way?
Oh, this is like 16.
Okay.
1,000.
Still $16. What the hell do you get?
Food?
A burger, cheese tots.
$16?
It does sound like a lot for that, but it's fine.
Oh, I didn't realize we had $10.
I think that included delivery fee and taxes and tip as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and tip. Good. Well, that's why. That's fine. Because I knew it was like $3 for delivery.
Yeah.
I got something extra on the tots. Because this is entertaining viewmanship.
Helen used to do that shit all the fucking time.
Thank you, Ombre. Yeah, she did. Part of the reason why I was always so poor. I mean, it was my fault too. Okay. So, with the opener, here's what we're going to see. You guys standing on the Mound of Victory as you guys make your way back down. You hear people chanting Godslayers and cheering for you. You guys also noticed you spoke with Yarbo and his tribe, saying that since being a werewolf, you're pretty immune to certain diseases. He basically went on a biting rampage and cowed them all into turning into wolves because the plague has a lot harder time with carnivores and a lot harder time with the wolves. And with the DR that a werewolf gets, then a flea's not able to bite them. So, because they can't breach their DR. So basically, a large portion of the main impact zone was transformed into werewolves, and Yarbo will be taking them out of town. He does say that he's leaving a small group behind in case you guys howl, which I'm surprised you didn't during that last fight.
Well, they were already there.
They were already there, but they didn't know to come meet you guys or anything. They were about, but it was just utter chaos. One thing you guys see is all of a sudden you look over at Dozer, who looks like he's very happy. He's like laying on his back and wallowing. He rolls back over and he'll cough up a troll arm. And you see him like look back and forth. The troll arm starts to like reform part of the
You
arm.
didn't take any acid damage in Dozer's stomach?
It does.
But fire damage.
And it's no acid and fire.
Oh.
So it starts rebuilding and he'll swallow it up. this is something that I want to make sure that we cover now, just out of game. The acid or at the point where he ate it and everything else, the hit points that it's able to gain enough hit points to where the acid damage takes enough of it down to where he never has to be fed now. That's
Wow.
yeah.
So he's like eternally being fed.
Yeah, it's regenerating and it's getting dissolved. He's pretty much perpetually always full.
That's how we solve world hunger with troll appendages.
If it does enough acid damage, I thought of how much it would be. I rolled like a couple times, and when it just kept counterbalancing, I'm like, so it's just going to be in a perpetual loop. Like, what the remains of this poor troll is just going to keep feeding and sustaining Dozer.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have a brain, so it's not like it's aware of what's happening.
Yeah, it can't fight its way out. Yet, I mean, maybe one day Dozer gets a Tums in his body. So there's that. Let's see. Most of the other part of the town, you guys will notice that Mother Ivory has come and brought the entire caravan, and is tending to the people.
I wish you would have told me that because I actually came up with a really good concept for how she looks.
You can still explain that part. So hold on to that thought. Okay.
Also, that's a lot of people.
It is. They're all coming and they're able to do different things. They're lighting fires and keeping people in separate areas so the fleas don't get past it. The things we did in real life, what mankind did in real life to quell the plague. But Mother Ivory has been a big help at keeping the collateral damage down. That being said, Dathersport itself has lost about 20% of its population. So
Could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
yeah, you guys stopped a lot of the fireworks. The only
You better
one
get
that
your
went
nose
off
back.
was the one here at
Jethro.
Rosetown Abbey.
That is not
So,
yours,
out
mister.
of character.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character. Can we like retcon what you said to remind you about what was on Rook's body?
Yeah. Actually, I found a different way to deliver it that I think will be better for you guys.
Okay.
So thank you. So let's see. That's 1,735,000.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's how many people have died in the wake.
Damn.
Which I'll write that down. So, and that's people on all sides of all the fences. So that's gang members, that's non-gang members, and everyone's going to suffer quite a bit. But you guys did keep that down by a very large degree. And Mother Ivory was key in me not making it 50% of the population. You guys keeping the other stuff, the other fireworks down is part of the reason why 50% of the population is not downed. With that, O'Neill does mention to you that she is going to be leaving. She has some, she feels the calling to wander. And with her, it takes her forever to get anywhere. So she's going to set out early before the rest of them do. But everyone else will stay in town. Waiting on poor Terry.
Did you put him up?
Yeah, he's fine.
You could have kept him out, man.
Nah.
Sick doggo was sick doggo.
But also,
He threw up once and he's good.
I was gonna say, sometimes when dogs just throw up once, they're good.
Get up out of
That's-
the system,
Yeah, they'll throw up and they'll be like, okay,
Maybe
I'm fine.
twice.
Whatever they ate,
Yeah.
that was bad. Okay, so
Which in his case was a banana peel because he had the whole banana.
God damn it, that's insane,
Unless it's like grapes or chocolate, and then it's like, we're going to the vet.
Yep.
right?
Then they're done. That was a straight experience.
So, like I said, the 20% of the population's down.
Peroxide and honey.
Um,
Peroxide to get them to vomit and honey to raise their blood sugar.
Mom always just told us she raised dogs. She always just said feed them rice,
That
Rice,
too.
rice and pumpkin.
pumpkin. Sydney swears by pumpkin for dogs.
It's a natural laxative.
There's going to be a parade for the God Slayers. They take everybody around and take
Like
you
happening
guys.
right now.
No, like not like this.
Oh, okay. Like in the
They're
future.
prepared.
Over the next,
Okay.
we're covering a month
Oh, okay.
right now.
That's fine.
Oh, so we get a long rest.
Yes, you definitely get a long rest.
We're gonna really long rest.
You guys have the regular plague, but you guys are Mother Ivory, which I guess now is a good time to describe her, so I could shove food in
So Mother Ivory is a very, very tall woman. She's got fairly pale skin, but she looks young for somebody who has started a school, ran a school for a very long time to be as successful and well known as it is. Her hair is like kind of a really dark blonde.
What's the species?
Nobody knows because she has a head wrap that always covers
she
her
like
ears.
a Sia?
But she's not blue or anything. Okay.
She's pale.
She's so pale.
Yeah, she's like it's obvious she doesn't see the sun very often, but
I think
people
anyone
There's-
does.
There's no sun.
Okay.
Besides one day.
You know what I mean.
She doesn't get that wonderful tan that people that do bask in the 1 year can maintain magically through the whole time. She doesn't gain any of that. She stays in during the 1 day.
Yeah. Basically, if you look at her for, like, if you really, really look at her, you might be like, I think she's an elf, but nobody can confirm nor deny that because she always makes sure her ears are covered. It's a good theory, though. And, like, the head wraps that she wears, you can think either sometimes, like, hijabs or, like, how women just have the scarf that goes here and then their hair goes down. That's often something she does. But she's very pretty. She's tall. She's slender. And she's always got a headscarf on. She's also very, very nice. Well, I mean, she opened a school to heal, so that's understandable.
But
So-
my understanding is that she's also fairly stern and strict.
I mean, she runs a school, so yeah.
So amongst all of everything, she walks up and she'll see you and she goes, Zalaria, my darling.
Zalaria will go over and actually hug her.
She does that and she does the cheek kiss. And she says, walk with me, please.
She'll walk with her.
I think that you called us in just the right time. I'm terribly sorry that I didn't heed your warnings.
I mean, I sent them for a reason, but at the same time, those who came aided us better than we would have done on our own. Or at least I would have done on my own.
And she stops and you guys see there's a huge, like basically all the bodies are being piled up. And she looks and she says, what a terrible loss of life. And she looks at you. Well, everybody will move on. And she clasps your hand and she says, I think it's about time that for your efforts, assuming that you've grown magically, I think it's time that maybe you got a promotion.
I will not say no to that.
Do you have the necessities to facilitate the rites to go through the test? Are you ready to take it? Do you feel prepared?
I might need a day to grab some, a few last things, but I should be able to do it.
Let's take a week or two. We must mourn our dead. And she'll let go of your hand and she'll look over and, she'll play with just a little bit of the hair and tuck it back under there. And she looks over and it's just all the bodies of the dead. And most of them are just rib cages, like the explosion. It's disgusting. People are going through and checking for their kids, their sons and daughters and everything. And one body is an incredibly not exploded old man that's just sitting there. Looks almost like mummified and rotted. And you guys all...
Is
as
this
we're
after
looking
we went our own ways and we're coming back to the wreckage? Because we all went to the tavern or,
Yeah.
or got laid. Or
A lot
went
of
to go
us got
talk
laid.
about
Yes.
apartments.
Yes, it's pretend a day has passed.
Okay.
So the next morning.
We're going to cover a month, so time's going to be very fluid into when we go about what.
Okay.
But yeah, you do see the body of Refasil, essentially. Just kind of laying there. No one took his gold tooth, right?
I took his,
Yeah, he did.
his
They took the gold tooth.
and I took a ring off of him.
Yeah.
Didn't
just double checking.
Bonham
rip
has the
his
gold
tooth
tooth
out?
out. Bonham has his tooth.
Gotcha. Speaking of, Mickey will promptly say, well, time to go into Bender. I know where to find you guys. And he'll leave. And Bonham says,
Very Mickey.
as he's sitting there, he says, I am going to stay here with the dead. And me and Nyx are going to sanctify the dead. Do what we can here. like I said, as the weeks pass, there's a parade for you guys. You're paraded all around Dathersport in every section. And when you're paraded up into Rosetown Abbey, you notice that there's lots of the skull anvils that will like hop onto your float and kind of stay at the ready, kind of like, all right. Same thing when you guys go through Bloodbather territory. They hop
like,
up,
taunting them, like, come at them.
Yeah.
Fight me!
and Shankill Slaughterers too. You know, they're a unified gang as of now for a time being. You know, they're two separate gangs, but they're definitely together. So they hop up in all their full colors, just daring the Breaker Witch Coven to do anything, and they don't, and the Blood Brothers don't either. Over that time, Vorg does mention to you guys that both Vorg and oh my Christ,
Grindelwald?
Thank you, and Grindelwald will both mention to you guys that because they deal with the dead, the Bloodbathers should be left alone for a time being. There is actually a day where, at the end of the week, everyone is told to stay indoors and to lock their doors. No exceptions. There's an extreme curfew. During that day, the few who do decide to go outside at night are caught screaming and dragged away in the middle of nowhere. There is a note at your guys' door that is written in incredible script. It looks like someone who's used to writing calligraphy and writing in Old English has had to write had to print out a note, so everything has a way exceptional flourish. And it says, "Thank you for giving us our night." From then on, that night will be observed yearly and will be known as something that I've written down.
That's the ghouls coming
Yes.
out.
The Night of the Empty Streets. So
That's once a year.
the ghouls basically will take care of the rest of the bodies. The Bloodbathers have a lot easier time. And the streets are cleared. When you guys are done with your parade, it stops you right outside the embassy of the Legion. And you guys are all, there's a big stage, and Vorg and Grindelwald seem to be included in that group that goes up there. And you guys are all brought up to where Landless nods to you all, and he says, you're all deserving of this. And you notice there's a big crowd that shows up. And he turns, and there's a box that's open, and they put a medallion of metal around all of your necks.
Oh, wow.
He cheers out to everyone, and he says, "People of Dathersport, it has been decreed by the nation that this town of Dathersport has given the honorary, or has given the title to the God Slayers as the heroes of Dathersport." You guys know that sometimes a city will basically have a group of adventurers that they approve of and sponsor. It comes with a lot of small little things. Like if you get caught stealing, you're probably not getting thrown in jail without at least coming to see who the mayor is, or in this case, Landless. It's a big deal, and towns get real excited about it. It's like a sports team, so to speak.
Giving the key to the city to...
We're the Kansas City Chiefs.
And speaking of keys, Landless says, and I thought you all would appreciate this. And he has a key and a small piece of paper in his hand.
Bought and Franklin Financial.
Mm-hmm.
Manifest for lot 666. That's not sketchy at all.
We found the key amongst Refasil's remains.
That'll be interesting.
It's a lockbox. I took the liberty of getting the manifest from Bots and Franklin, and this is everything that should be in his lockbox. It's free to you.
Very well. Thank you very much.
No, and he cheers, and the people all cheer, and
I take it all in.
oh yeah. I'm almost done with what I'm forcing you guys through, and then you guys can certainly go with the rest. So with that extra money, we're gonna start there. What else am I missing?
I haven't looked
Okay,
over.
Black Box is free.
I don't know if you shared
Got
it
you the
with me.
parade. You guys are heroes of Dathersport.
I mean, you're a little more trustworthy as
Um,
Haley than you are as Valerie.
Get
I
the
finally have come up with a
assassin away from
days of
us.
the week and
You
a
said
months. I finally come up with days of the week and months for the year for my world.
Nice.
I wanted something that was easy to catch on to, but something that's not that still sounds fantasy.
Mhm.
The month is just the abbreviated month backwards. So October is TCO. Co. November is Vaughn. May
Okay.
is Yam.
Yam.
Yeah, it's my least favorite one.
Yam, is that when Thanksgiving can be?
So
I guess it's
also
Yao.
days of the week are the same thing. So Monday is Nom Day. Yes. That's my least favorite. That's why I'm getting out of the way.
Nom day. Nom.
Tuesday is Seut. Tues. Tuessuet. Suet.
Sweet.
So it should be fairly easy now for us to keep track of certain things.
Gotcha.
You just have to write it down, write it backwards, and try to pronounce it as best you can. But it's easy that way. Easy for you guys to get a hold of.
Friday is Earth.
Yes, Friday is Earth. If you played League of Legends, you'd know that's a very, very funny thing too. So I explained the calendar, which is a big deal too. Also, for those who don't know, the world itself is called Roth. Okay, just double checking, making sure.
I remember that from Tuesday game because you made it more of a deal on Tuesday than you did in this one.
Right? Okay, Gang War and the Night of Empty Streets. And then I've got the rest. Okay, so at some point when you guys are resting in your new home, this is where we'll pick up with the role playing.
New home.
So we got a manor out of this?
Oh, don't you guys remember you already had one?
We have
Yeah,
the,
that
the
old
warehouse.
Magitech
Yeah.
factory.
Yeah, the Magitech factory, but it was like
It was
destroyed. It wasn't
burnt
like
warehouse.
Well, it's also in Breaker Witch Coven territory.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
outskirts of it.
we'll say we fixed it up over the time, and now everybody's got their own
That's
room.
a-
No. It cost money.
What? We can't call in favors?
In fact, you can. But,
I think we've already called in a lot of favors.
no shit.
We owe more people than we have favors.
Yeah.
Nah, no, that's their lives.
As you guys
We
are
could've
sitting,
saved them.
when you guys have to crawl underneath that hole you made to get in.
So it's still there. The
The whole, yeah.
it's going to.
You guys will hear a loud metallic.
It's open.
And then you see 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, 12, 20,
Oh, God.
50 gnomes.
Is Haley there?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're dealing with this.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, he's probably trying to keep all that treasure for himself.
No, I'm not dealing with it just yet.
So you get about that many 50 gnomes, and then you'll hear, and then you'll see a large pipe wrench, like 6 foot tall pipe wrench, flies up, ting 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 ting, and you see Big Sally just squeeze her way up, very much Rosie the Riveter style. She's a bigger girl, but mostly all strength, and she's, I ain't meant for crawling.
We're trying to get that fixed.
Speaking of, so the factory being in the red zone, there's not much work, and the way they're treating us, we decided to kind of strike. Which is when me and the gals here, and you look at all these gnomes, and they all have the brands of being a slave. But they seem to look at her with a warmth and happiness when she says the girls. You can tell that you've heard her before.
Yeah.
You've heard her before. Not your character, but
Yeah.
you have out of character. She says, me and the girls, we have some proposals for you guys for this place. Some price quotes we've worked up. I don't know if you guys have any money. You do have money, right?
In some form or another, I imagine.
But, yeah, so if you want this place cleaned up and everything
Holy
else.
shit. That was in character.
It's prices to build this the way we want it. At the very least, we need to fix the door.
Well, certainly we don't have to do all this, but it's these are quotes for individual things, and if you want to. But me and the girls, and they all like, get it, like little gnomes, all of them, and they're all very Rosie the Riveter-esque. They got stuff smudged on them, sleeves rolled up.
Her having a mild heart attack.
Sleeves are all rolled up and everything.
I was getting my character sheet.
And these are like in silver pieces, not gold pieces.
No, they're in gold pieces.
Gold.
Gold
It's
pieces.
it's
Okay.
just Zach's shitty handwriting.
Well,
Your G's look like S's.
I'll make handouts from now on. It's it takes extra time.
All
Also,
right.
good.
Well, our barbarian, oddly enough, is our calculator. So, why don't you add up how much all that's going to cost?
She goes, all of it?
High intelligence.
No, our character. Some of that was for like, if you want a modest bedroom,
Yeah.
if you want an expensive bedroom. So don't just add them all up, and you may not want some of that stuff.
Yeah, like, do we
For
want
sure we weren't
secret
there.
passages?
I'm going to
Yes.
add in what I think we should
And
get.
Valerie's
And I will let
character.
you know for sure, like what I think is essential versus materialistic.
Extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want a piece of paper to write those down?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I need something to write for it though.
Take your pick.
I'll take that one.
There's pencils there.
I imagine we'll be able to pay for all of that with Rook's belongings.
What?
You mean Russifil?
Yeah, Ruffle.
Rook's, yeah, okay. We
Well,
didn't get anything
sure,
from
sure.
Rook?
No, just the glory of killing him.
Fair enough.
Ooh, we have
I
to
mean,
keep
if you
diamonds.
want the ampules. Yeah.
So repair
The
lockdown.
diamonds as they
That's
are.
the door, right?
Hmm?
Repair lockdown. That's the door.
Mhm.
Got you. Okay.
Maybe.
Huh.
Can
And
use
Big-
the diamonds
Big
for
Sally
resurrection.
Also, what we can do with that, and she pulls out blueprints. Sorry, she doesn't. But some of the gnomes get real excited. And they have all these blueprints that look like they're just something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start putting them together in very Tony Stark-esque. Once you put them all together, and they put it on a glass table, it folds out.
We have a Megazord.
They light it. They show a candle underneath it and turn up the lantern. It has a light feature on the top as well as the sides. They close the sides, and it shows you. It would be a lockdown mechanism to where you guys could shut it, and they think that they can play with the Magitech and do it remotely.
Ooh.
So it's not Voltron? We can't form Blazing Sword?
You can. It would be 6 times what you have in money. And also, you'd have to start communing with a machine god, and let's
not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not upset the gods.
we got a lot of different stuff.
I don't know.
Small, medium, or large?
Hmm?
Small, medium, or large?
Ziluri will want. Well, what's the difference?
What?
Just-
Bedrooms?
Yes.
No, Ziluri will want a small bedroom.
Small.
Marcio wants it as fancy as possible.
So large.
Haley's used to something small. But you also gotta think of Valerie.
We are the Godslayers. We are the heroes of Deathsport. We deserve it all.
Hasn't been like
Inspiration.
inducted into the party yet. She's
I got
still
you,
kind of
I got
hired
you.
help.
So we got a small.
For now.
Also, if you want guest
How big?
bedrooms,
No, this is my question. How big are the small, medium, and large rooms?
Yeah, that's
this
kinda
is
what I
me
was
talking
gonna
to the gnome.
just some of the gnomes.
Yeah. Like, this is like calculating what it is.
Hi.
So I'm looking at all the.
Oh my! And she goes over and starts grabbing on your arm, and she goes.
Okay.
She'll actually like do a pull up.
She'll do a pull up.
Wanna do it? And she's
then,
looking
and
at your
then
arm?
what I'm going to do when she does
Very
that,
nice.
I'm going to like flick her up and I'm going to catch it on my shoulder.
She blushes and on a gnome. Their nose and cheeks when they get red.
It's like Amanda with like everything.
Yeah, like it's like boom.
Goddamn tomato.
Yeah, she gets bright red and she's just sitting there looking at you.
And so I look up at her and I'm like, how big are the rooms? Like,
You're a tall one. She goes, and then the other like Big Sally comes over and says, "Okay, it's fine." And then she calms down a little bit and she goes, "You want that in square feet or do you want to You want it in square feet, stone, or just like an actual measurement in like inches, or are we using the metric system, or how do you want to go?
We'll do metric system.
Zach doesn't know the metric system. Each room would be about the size of this living room for a small.
For small?
Yes.
Damn.
Shit.
My bedroom's
I'm good with this small.
Now, a large is like when you walk into like a king's bedroom or the back of a captain's ship. In fact, if you throw in an extra 500, they can make it look like the back of a ship. Just saying.
I don't know right about that.
Small flares can be added to all this.
Okay, so I'm thinking if my 7'5" character, if this is a small room, he can take a small room.
Big Sally says, me and the girls decided to do the blueprints like this because we figured we wouldn't want anybody to actually have the layout of your home.
Smart.
I appreciate that.
So
Medium.
you'll take the contract? Or sorry, you'll
Haley
accept the contract?
For
would
both.
probably want a medium to be able to run.
That's why I was.
For
Yeah,
office
no, that's
Saturdays.
exactly what I was thinking. But Valerie
And
would.
probably something that has like an exterior. Valerie
Access.
would want something with exterior access.
Well, looking over at Turth, pretty sure his abacus is smoking over there. And I'll be like, what's the total looking like so far?
I'm still getting everything together.
Out of character, we could probably say that Valerie and Haley's room would be one, and medium with an outdoor access so that she has access to clients to come in. But Haley would probably stay in like a small guest room until you guys actually say, hey, yeah, you guys can join.
Until we're just like, you're part of the team. You can't ever leave us now.
Right?
You hear a whole bunch of giggling as you look over, and there's a whole bunch of the gnomes just around Marzi.
Hey, you want to build my room first?
Yeah, they all say yeah at the same time. And then one looks and says, first girl to build it gets to show it to him, and they all turn bright red at the same time. Ma, you're a tall
Haley
one.
just kind of rolled her eyes and was like, well, it didn't take him long to move on.
Hey, what are you talking about? You're invited.
3 of the gnomes are down with that.
Of the 50.
Big Sally walks over and, hi, I don't believe we've really met before. Hey, yeah, you gave her a perfect handshake. She shakes your hand and she's like, all right, it's about time that we found a woman with some backbone.
They're just gonna get.
You don't count your different species.
Okay, that's good.
And I
Also
don't.
fair.
Speaking of, I've heard of you, and she pulls out the little dime store novel book, and
The
she's
book
like,
that they've written, like, fan art.
Oh, okay.
Fan fiction.
Fan fiction.
and she says, I don't believe we've met either. I'm Big Sally,
I'm Zaluria.
and she gives you the warrior's handshake too, and
Which I can't do right now.
I know that's why I was worried I was going to hurt you. Actually,
Nah.
you notice that she has a big handshake again. She's like Rosie the Riveter, but her physique is actually something I could probably find a better picture of from something else I had. Anyway, if you guys accept their contract, they will be more than happy to keep the notes in this fashion so that the blueprints, so you guys don't get somebody knowing the inside of your layout. They have to call in some favors if they're going to do certain things, like Big Sally and none of the gnomes can really do too much of the magic part of the anti-scrying. I mean, most of the gnomes can do a pinch of it,
Right.
but they may have to call in another source, but she guarantees it'll be safe. Yay, as I find something. But yeah,
Furnishings is 1 GP to infinity.
yeah,
I think
like
that's
if
like 1 gold piece per furnishing. So like her bed, her couch.
think about it like
or
this.
like it could cost us 50,000 gold pieces to buy like a super fucking fancy bed.
It's going to be a little more abstract. Say like it's like when you could buy jewelry on your character. If you say I'm going to spend $6,000 on jewelry, you get $6,000 worth of jewelry.
Okay, gotcha.
If your furnishings, I'm going to spend $10,000 on furnishings, they're going to be $10,000 worth of furnishings.
Okay.
So when you have people show up, if you care to have these things, if you care to have nice things, dump a lot of money into it to represent that.
Okay.
I'm just going to do a full-on furnishing, and how much gold you guys are spending into it is going to be like a label attached to it.
Gotcha.
And then you guys will have pretty much carte blanche on all the small things to it. Also, if you guys want to hire people to take care of your keep, there are rules for those, and that's a continuing thing to pay.
The
hirelings.
servants is an estimate.
Yeah, it's an estimate.
Well, don't we still have that baby frog hemoth that Mickey kept the egg for?
Yep.
That's gonna be our guard pet.
somewhere
Well,
that
first,
we haven't fed.
also they gave you a quote for that. He's 10 gold pieces to feed right now a day.
We'll just get like a troll finger.
What game is that from?
League of Legends. You should play it because
is
the
it?
cosplay is ridiculous, and
I
Star
know.
Guardians are Sailor Scouts.
I know.
This is a good physical build
Okay.
representation of.
I actually a couple weeks ago went and binge watched literally all of the League of Legends animated things.
Are they amazing?
They are amazing.
Here, Truth
Okay.
I'll check that out. So that's
So
kind of
here
like
she
a
is.
good idea, the physical build. No, that's too skinny of the waist. Like this, I guess this
Are you
picture
gonna share
doesn't.
stream?
No, because it's copywritten,
Okay.
right? Isn't that how that goes?
I don't think they can do anything about visuals. It's usually audios that get flagged immediately. I mean, if they flag.
See, look at that stomach. See, she's got like core muscles there. It's not, you
Did you
know.
not see my washing that I did on her stomach? You can definitely see her
Well, she has
abs.
wash. She's hourglassy, and this is more like
Get it?
all around. She's a stockier built person. So she says, yeah, the froghemoth is pretty expensive, and you guys need to have a special pet to keep him from running a rampage. And he is getting bigger; he will get more expensive per day to feed. But they gave you a quote for him as the size he is now.
Excuse me.
Big Sally also says, and there's one more part that's part of the contract too. If you you guys seem to know a lot of people in town. She starts like kicking her feet at the ground, and all the girls are giggling, all the gnomes. You know the head constable, right?
Landless?
Big
It's
Sal?
big.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I know him. I know him. Yeah.
She smiles, and
Yeah.
all the girls again giggle. I'm wondering if you could,
Put in a good word.
and maybe if you're going to a social event or dinner or something
Mhm.
with your new girlfriend, then maybe we could. And then the other girls, oh, maybe we could double date or something.
Let's see what I can do.
And she smiles. Thanks, Marzi. She does the whack real hard on the side.
Well, strength is my dump stat, so if you whack me, I'll probably like move like 5 feet.
Just
Oh.
plop.
She goes like, sorry. And the gnomes, you notice most of the gnomes are going around immediately. And the bad thing is some of them, like one of them, like pulls out a string for a tape measure and starts doing it. And the back of her pretty shabby clothes, think like these are probably dressed better than any other slave gnomes you've seen. But like as like the raggedy clothes that she has slumps down and shows her back, you see that she's had savage whip marks. You two have healing as a stat, as actual proficiencies. Am I
Yes.
correct? Make me a healing check.
I don't have medicine
I can
as a
Unlock my
proficiency.
I
phone.
thought you did. I'm sorry.
No, wrong character. Cleric.
Wrong character. Who this?
Alright, guys.
I have that model.
Ending.
All right, so I crunched some numbers, and
Big Sally.
I
Oh, I got it.
feel I have 2 separate lists of what I think we should have and things we could probably use more than others. That
Okay.
makes sense to anybody. Repair doors first, and then I have kitchen and dining second for sure. All of our rooms.
Yep.
That is 4 small rooms, a medium room, and a large room. You're welcome. And I also have the secret passageways that they provided for us, both of them. And
That can go indefinitely. We can pay for more. It's each.
okay, well I have them all here, and then on the
So we have
second one, I have the frog hemoth. How much we would have to pay per day, whatever.
No,
two
just get a troll finger or something.
2 workshops. I was thinking 2 workshops.
Yeah.
One for Zaleria for healing and all her stuff, and then
Yeah,
armor.
for a sex dungeon. Oh no.
That's half of your bedroom.
Giggle from the girls.
I should have put in the second floor and the top, but I'm like, if we can get all this on the base floor and not have a second floor, it'd be good.
We should have a dungeon that I will probably also use for sex.
Okay. And I did also add a training room.
Did you add a cellar, or did you put
I
in for
didn't
the cellar?
put a cellar yet.
You mean sex?
And remember that if you guys add a second floor, you can add more stuff to it.
Yeah.
Well, since you don't have the second floor, there may be a limit to what you can have, and you'll have the highest fucking ceilings in the world.
But with everything I have said, there's going to be 19,600 gold pieces.
We can afford it.
Do you want me to go more? Do you want me to go less?
I think
Look
we
at all
should
look
do
at all
the
the stuff we're
second
getting from
floor.
episode.
No,
We
see,
should
I didn't
do-
have this list, so I was like basing on what we
The
had.
diamonds are not being sold. We're keeping the diamonds as is.
I think we should have a second floor though.
Just in the gold pieces and platinum pieces, though,
Yeah.
So
we can still afford it. Like,
I'm thinking. So I'll add a cellar for sure.
And then
I might
I
be
think that we should
for
do
bottom.
on the second floor as
Mhm.
well and add maybe a couple of extra guest rooms.
Yeah.
A couple
Small
of
rooms.
other smaller
Yeah.
rooms
So,
and then maybe
what all do you have so far again?
a great room.
There's repairing the doors, kitchen, dining area, several bedrooms.
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bedrooms as of right now. But if we get a second floor, I can add like 3 more rooms.
I think we should have like a main area,
Yeah,
I feel like that's where kitchen dining would be. That'd
No,
be like
like-
a common area.
a grand like meeting area, like our own Hall of Justice Super Friends.
I was getting ready
style.
to say that.
Yeah.
Like I said, a
It's
great
the
hall.
round table kind
Like
of
I said, a
thing.
great hall.
And that's
Yeah.
where we'll also put like statues of fallen teammates and whatnot, and it would just be kind of
We could
a
put something for Laconia.
and Tom Lim and Jin.
So instead of game room,
I love it.
or is that supposed to be grand room?
I love it.
Is this supposed to be grand room or game room?
Gamer.
All right, so instead of a game room, would you be opposed to us making that
Yeet!
game room a grand room for like our meeting areas?
A grand room would cost you, if you want it to be super impressive,
Yes.
if you went 5,000, it would be the most extravagant thing ever, including a full library of books on
All
tactics.
right, 5,000 it is.
So write that down. That it has it'll have a full library for tactics, as well as like boards, like the cop boards they have to draw all the lines to and stuff like that. So you guys can keep track of clues and different things.
We need a
and-
treat dispenser for Gary.
And
Probably a doggy door for him.
Yes.
how much
That's an
land?
extra 100.
How much land do we have outside?
Officially or
do we-
unofficially?
Yes.
We'll go officially. Officially.
Officially, it literally ends at your door.
Unofficially.
Now from
Does it count? The
Small
roof?
garden. I'm thinking small
The
garden
roof?
size, like for us to grow.
yeah, he's still on the roof.
We could
Food.
put the garden on the roof.
Who wants to grow food? I want to put a marble fountain in that bitch.
Schwatha has made sure that you guys have a large section around the building as well. Probably about
I'm also
50,
thinking for Dozer.
50 yards from your doorstep. It's
Okay.
yours.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke just so you guys can keep thinking and
Can I borrow
talking.
one from you?
But you're gonna be part
You've
of
been
this, and
so
you're not.
good.
And you're not a smoker anymore.
Hey, I can have one cigarette a week. That should be okay, right?
I mean,
That's
it's your
yours.
own.
It's yours.
Your own
You-
guidelines, I guess. That's not the word I'm looking for, but whatever.
100. I did add this.
Basically, we need a puppy play area and a garden.
Well, we'll put the garden on the roof. I agree with
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
And
Because
That way it'll get the
I'm going to
most
put your
sunlight on
workshop.
Monday.
I'll put your workshop up to where you can get to the garden easier.
That works.
For
And we could probably do like Ooh, I have like a really cool idea.
You're
I'm
gonna
like
build-
scrolling through Sims.
I was gonna say, you guys are about to go home and you're gonna go and build this. in
Like
Sims.
have her Zalaria's room with like a spiral staircase
That's
that
exactly
goes
what I
right
was-
up to the greenhouse on the roof.
That's exactly what I
I
was
was gonna say,
thinking.
Zaliria's gonna want several large windows, anyways. Well, at least in the workshop, probably a couple in her room, anyways. Shh, it's gonna be weird for her to have her own bedroom, though.
We should plan it out.
All right. Well, that would be good. That way we can get an estimate on how much furnishing, like how much furniture.
It
For
seems
sure.
like it's gonna take a long time to actually like plan out. We should do like a rough estimate and tell them like,
Yeah.
most of the stuff that we want.
So, and I don't know how much to do for furnishings. Like,
I feel like that should be per room, because like Zaliria's not gonna want super fancy things. Or-
Turf won't either. Like,
Yeah,
I
really
I
won't
grew
care.
up in the land.
Yeah.
Really won't care. She might like and might like to have.
Well,
like,
you-
a
you- 'cause you
decent
said
bed,
you're
but
gonna
I'm also
spend-
not like in the group right now.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to say the whole. So I was threatened by a.
Not yet, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and
this
Zach
all could've-
also had me write a letter to you guys from Valerie. I don't know how he's
Oh.
going to implement that.
Yeah, because this is going to be basically Zaliria's first bedroom. She would have had a place. Well, okay, I gotta think. About
3
that
rooms good? 3 extra rooms?
now. I think so.
2 smalls and a medium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
The reason why I'm
That way, just in case,
you gotta
like,
think this is a
Jennifer
small
Bonham-
room, like the size of this living room.
Yeah.
Like my room now is smaller than this.
My room is like half the size.
So I'm like, for sure we can get away with small rooms and a medium. And Marzio, you're welcome. You get the only large room.
And random sex.
Hmm. You know, Zaleria has probably not had a bedroom in a very long time. She's not used to.
I haven't either. I'm used to living on the land type
Yeah.
stuff. So like
Well, 'cause-
camping and everything.
She grew up in a wagon.
Yeah.
I think the only time she really stayed stationary was when she was with Mother Ivory and going to school and,
And
trying to help Julius.
are we gonna get
I mean,
servants?
Valeria will say no. She thinks that they
I
can,
won't
we can take
forget
care
it.
of it on our own.
So yeah, that's the 5,000 is going to include the
library.
the library. It's going to include the statues. It's going to include various other accoutrements based on tactics and things like that.
Table. Our
Large, very
large-
opulent table and chairs.
Okay.
I'm kind of
I
thinking
would
it.
and also I would like to negotiate some of these prices with these lovely ladies. The reason being,
The ones who are working on strike and need this money,
no,
of course.
it's because I want to help with it.
Okay,
I want to put in the physical labor to help them do what needs to get done.
You're going to offer that to the gnomes of Big Sally.
Yes.
I like how he said
Okay,
what
let's do
the
it in
diamonds
character.
are.
Let me refill this real quick.
My thing is I don't want to take a lot of gold from them because I know they're on strike. I know they're hungry.
You know we have like a shit ton of water, right?
Yeah, but it costs you guys money.
Did you see how much we bought?
Okay, fine.
It
I'm gonna throw this water
it
away.
costs us $1.99 to buy a case.
And then I won't bitch no more about it. I was trying to be good for
No,
y'all.
you're good.
We
No,
just bought 4 cases
that's why.
of
That's why
water.
we buy the water though. Like,
Oh, that works.
I tend to drink water more out of bottles than I do out of cups. Weird.
Yeah, no, I agree.
understandable.
Same. I don't like the fluoride in the water.
But, so in character, are you guys going to be able to do all this work by yourselves?
Big Sally just kind of does this. And you see her pull the 6-foot wrench over her?
I'm just willing to help.
No, and then all of a sudden the girls all like giggle and aww. Come on, Big Sally, let's do this. He's so big and strong. I think he's great. Ooh, and they all just kind of ooh. And they're sitting there just staring at your muscles.
Hey, Turf, how's Protha? Protha, whatever.
All the girls immediately they do the
But
little
so
growly
I'm
thing.
looking at her, and I'm just like, I don't want to take gold from you. I just want to be able to, where I come from, I build, where I lived is what I built.
Make me a diplomacy check.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
It's not diplomacy. I'm
It's
trying to
persuasion.
thank you. Usually I have a character pulled up so I could double check
Shit, I
it.
wish I could have Marzio saying this.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know how to do anything. Oh, good. Cocked.
Yeah, that was definitely.
17.
Nice.
I got an 18.
An 18. She looks at you and she looks at the girls and she says, "That's commendable of you. Tell you what, we'll throw in a couple extras." And she looks over what you have so far.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing you don't have? Or one thing you've skimped on?
Let me do this. We don't have any furnishings yet.
Like we haven't planned.
We haven't planned furnishings yet.
You did do second floor in the cellar?
Really cool
Yeah.
Yeah,
idea.
we did both of those. Yeah,
Drop the price of the cellar.
to
Free.
free. Okay.
So she says, "We'll do the cellar for free if you're helping out. And you're helping us dig it, though."
Oh, that's fine.
She nods. And
I look at Mars here because he's like, sex dungeon. Free sex dungeon. Yes.
And another reason why I was asking about how much area is outside
Mhm.
is stables.
Yeah.
Like, they're obviously going to have to be outside.
the stables and the Froghemoth stable is separate, and they're both outside, yes.
Okay. And I wanted to make sure that there is room for that
Mhm.
as well. So, and then I talked to these guys. I'm like, do you guys think we need stables? Because as of right now, all we have is, I don't even have a wagon anymore. So,
Yeah. I mean, we have Dozer. He can sleep in the stables.
God damn it.
so yes to stables.
Just show the stream some random ass meme.
Why not?
Do you hear me? So yes to stables.
Sure.
So
What about the doggy door and treat dispenser for Gary?
I'll build that.
Okay.
Don't forget Kusith.
Currently sitting, or no, he's currently with bottom.
Yeah.
So as of right now, with everything that I have, and we added 3 more rooms in the cellar, which the cellar is free. The stables, we got the stables. And
There's plenty of
other than that, everything is 26,100 gold pieces.
I think we got this.
That's not.
That's
with
not
furnishings.
including furnishings. The only furnished room we'll have technically is going to be our grand hall.
Hall of Justice.
Super friends.
I think we can do that.
And I give her the list of everything. Can I put this out?
Yeah.
Of like what we would like done. And then I ask her, how do you want us to pay you? And when?
Well, Alazio told me that you would probably be willing to pay in cash.
Yes.
The when?
When?
As long as we're able to stay here while we're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
She says, page 1. Yeah, as I attack the stream and your laptop. Page 127 of the OG.
A lot.
She says that we don't need it up front, but the girls do need to be fed.
Yeah. Hey, are you willing to put some money up front?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Haley doesn't have a lot of money.
I don't know if I'm like just not spending money or what, but I have a lot.
Well, I haven't been spending money
Yeah.
for real, so. Because I don't have anyone to get me portable holes anymore.
Which we need to figure out what we did with Tame.
We need to get there ASAP.
We're gonna get him to Mother Ivory.
And I feel we can give him a room here if his shop's destroyed. Until his shop gets fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we need to figure out what's going on with Red Mountain Square. Because last we left it, it was walled up.
Yeah. See how the town's coming about and all that too.
Yeah.
So she says, It'd be $6,000 to feed the girls and to pay for their labor.
I'll give you $8,000 to start.
She nods. She says, I think we have a deal. And she'll shake your hand, and it's squishy and everything, and she says, all right, take off that shirt, boy. We got work to do.
No.
All the girls are like, "Ooh." They get real excited, all the gnomes.
So,
You notice that during the work, she is incredibly strict about things like
safety, because I would be.
definitely safety. Breaks. The girls are willing to work way too hard, and when she blows the whistle,
It's break time.
like you can tell that they're really willing to work for her, but she is willing to make sure that they actually get rest, actually get sleep. One of them's sick, and they'll she'll be pushed in front of you, and the girl's like, it's just real pale and real sickly,
Snot fountain.
basically.
Looks like she has a fever. And Zaleria will take care of her.
Okay, make me a medical check.
And
That's okay.
it was like,
There was a 19 and then it rolled over.
Oh, don't you hate that?
so do we have the hammers and the tools to
They provide them.
Provided
Yeah.
them? Okay.
It's a
There's-
16.
16.
How much of the 8
she's
are you
actually
willing to put
pregnant.
down?
Oh, fun.
How much of the 8 are you willing to
I have 5,000 gold right now. I
I
figure I
like
can
how
give
he
you.
says that you immediately
2.5.
just glare at
2.5.
Marcio.
That wasn't what I was trying to do. That's just where I looked.
But you can get an inspiration for that. That made me smile.
What happened?
The gnome's pregnant, and I just kind of looked straight at you, but that wasn't exactly how I was intending. She'll tell Big Sally, although earlier you had me roll a medicine check, and I got a 24 on it, but I don't think we ever touched what it was supposed to be on.
It was the gnome that had the abrasions on its back.
That gnome was whipped with barbed wire.
Oh,
Specifically razor wire.
oof.
Like
So-
they're treated well now, but at one point they were
Right,
not.
yeah.
I'm not going to ask you how much you're going to be able to put in because you
About how long is this whole thing taking? Is this taking days?
It was going to take a month.
A month?
Like I said, we're doing a month of downtime during this session.
Well, there's still other things.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
some politicking.
No, exactly. I'm just reassuring you that we will have time to take care of
I
all
can
of
put
it.
in 4.
well,
I can put in whatever is needed, essentially.
Well, I have quite a bit too.
Within
I want to cast Identify on the ring that I picked up off of Rook.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Zaleria's going to want somebody to look at the little crown that she has.
Well, I'm
That's how
casting
much gold I
Identify,
have.
so I'll be able to see everything.
as
I
a
have
ritual,
11.
or
Yeah.
just burn the spell
Ritual
slot
for
because it
10
doesn't
minutes.
matter for.
I have 11
Yeah.
and then
Um,
also 16 platinum pieces. So,
I don't
um,
have any platinum. I don't. That's all gold.
I'm actually. We're gonna give them 10-5, actually.
10-5?
10,500.
Okay.
Yeah, because Marzio's doing 2,500, and both me and Zaleria both are doing four grand.
Okay. Go ahead and let's tack on an extra 2 secret passageways.
Extra 2,
Mm-hmm.
so
No, you're not paying for it. They'll
Okay.
throw those in. You guys will actually design this keep. I'll have a thing of paper and we can sit down and do that if we wish. I just want to make sure that we're covering some of these before we jump back into this.
Sims.
Can you screenshot that?
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's why I
And Mike-
said I wanted to design my house in Sims.
We might be able to do that, guys.
And then I'll build it out of styrofoam.
Yes.
And then we'll actually have like
this is our house.
In the middle of your street. When they get the door working, you see some of the gnomes are all sitting there with some very strange looking. It's not Magitech, but it's bordering it. Like some parts of it are powered by smaller bits of Magitech, but not enough to be legal. And they're all sitting there around the doorway, and suddenly one that's sitting there with the like she's got glasses, not goggles. She's got glasses, and she's like, okay, ready? Let's do this. And she hits it, and like all the electricity in the place just shocks down to the doors, and the doors lock into place. They all cheer. They get up to oiling it, and the girls really get in there. You know, they're not shy to work, and they're tinier, but they're still strong. Some of them stronger than you.
I've said it many times. Strength is Marzio's dump stat, so it's not difficult to be stronger than Marzio.
It's just amazing to see such little things doing that. They will get a remote access. So the one with glasses walks on over, and it's a very weird, sciencey looking. Like you remember? Do you remember the first Sherlock Holmes movie?
Yes.
Remember how the thing worked for the remote? It's very like weird tech for a remote control.
Yeah.
It'll be kind of like that, and they're like, "Well, we can only do one, but here it is."
I'll take it.
But a remote shutdown. Its range should be anywhere in Dathersport because it uses the old tram comms. Assuming that the halflings aren't messing with it too much, you should be able to shut it down from anywhere in Dathersport, though.
Okay.
At least by my estimation.
Thank you.
No problem.
And I kind of...
No, wait, sorry, the Rosie River. It wasn't a salute, it was...
I was trying to figure out what you had done.
But I say thank you. Now,
So strong.
how does it work?
Why he's strong?
Explain to me how it works.
Make me an intelligence check.
Oh no. His
You know
strong
that
stat.
meme where it shows all the math in the background? This is where we see if it becomes that.
This is 10.
A 10 total?
Even.
Yeah, it's you're just sitting there and all the math. And then the algorithms are actually sent across the miowaves, and then there's, theoretically speaking, a little bit of magic check that grounds it into the stratosphere using certain portents of the ley line, and
Don't even get me started on the logarithm.
yeah. Like, it's just, you're trying, but this girl is into this tech to the point to where she can't communicate it to you.
Okay.
But
Look at her, I'm like, oh.
Dumb it down for me, Kinsai.
But yeah, so they will get that working, and it will be remote controlled. Let's see, the kitchen and the dining area is also fully stocked with a very large pantry. Your rooms, the extravagant ones are extravagant, the simple ones are simple.
Pork.
There would be a very small amount of dried pork. Let's see. Anti-sigils. So you guys did do that. For the anti-sigils, it's weird to see that some commoners are able to actually grasp certain magics. They never go into full-on magic. But given enough time and everything else, they are able to take and make some anti-scrying going on. It's small green crystals that are placed within the ceiling, essentially. Okay. And
I did that, so if anybody decides to break in, we're covered there.
Yeah, you guys can talk here, and then it's doubled up in the Justice League or the Justice Hall.
The Justice League.
What is it? The Hall of Justice.
Hall of Justice.
Yeah, the Hall of Justice. You see, there's a lot of those green crystals in the ceilings and in some of the statues and things like that. So the idea is
it's the safest place ever.
You guys can't be scryed on. It's a very big deal.
Nice.
If you do, they explain to you that the crystals will break. They can be breached, but you'll know at least.
Okay.
These green stones are magic or thing.
No, actually, no. These are more clear crystals.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and fortunately, when you do see Maljade, you won't know what it is. Interesting theory. The workshops we got, the Frog Hemoth, he's growing in size, by the way. He's about the size of a horse now.
How big will he get?
Same size as a normal Frog Hemoth.
Well, like, size-wise, for us to know.
That big?
Frog Hemoths are huge creatures, meaning on a map they take up a 3x3 space.
Okay.
About the size of a
But we
two-story.
have 50 yards, right, outside the building,
Mhm.
technically. All the way around. Yeah, we'll be good then.
It's like a two-story house.
I wanted to make sure we had enough room for it. Is my big.
Yeah, on the outside.
Yeah.
The training room is immaculate. They have the Spartan-style sand pit kind of thing, because it soaks up blood. But it's white, beautiful sand from a distant place.
Training room can also be used for
Oh, most definitely.
That's why I like the white sand.
The dummies have interchangeable parts, so if you blow off a part, you go over to the spare and put on another shield. They look like they have some things that are made to cast magic against that
Okay.
would try to resist the magic or reflect it back, so spellcasters have an easier time with it. The cellar, do you have any plans for the cellar?
We know what Marzio has planned.
I would,
Dude, it's your call. It's your keep. You do
I
what
would,
you want.
I would like us to have a stockpile of ale, booze, stuff like that.
Ales and wines.
Yeah.
So if we decide that we want to, host an immaculate party, we could keep it stocked.
But also put a few eye bolts in the ceiling of it. For
A few what?
eye bolts?
So that he can hang
So you
something.
can have your sex dungeon?
Yeah.
Andy's man.
Maybe like section off part of it so that you can.
Oh,
Oh no, not sectioning off. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want.
no. I'll take the dark chocolate. There's another bag of onions.
No, that's cool. I got these.
Oh, don't
So-
forget these too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, give me a couple of them. Oh, shit.
Sorry.
I have diabetes now.
Diabetes.
What happens whenever you come to game on Sunday? Apparently,
Right?
you get diabetes.
Mm.
Anything.
I may have dipped into the candy for the first time ever.
Well, it's your candy, dude.
Well, I usually keep that down there because we don't want specific people in the house to get into it. So
Myself included, but that's okay.
put it down in my room. But I got into it after I ate 2 cookies. Ate 2 cookies and played Skyrim. That was a great time.
So they will have it fully stocked with wine. If you guys want to get extravagant wine, throw me some extra coin.
I got you.
How much?
So the cellar was free technically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll throw in how much the cellar would cost.
Okay.
16
Make it an even 2
and even 2.
for some stout.
Yeah. So extra 2. So that would be
A wide
28.
variety of wine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
28,000 essentially now.
How much should we put on furnishings?
We didn't because we were gonna discuss that, like how much
Okay.
stuff is extravagant versus in each room as well. Like we're gonna go through each room and be like, this much, this much, this much.
Now
Okay.
I'm assuming that since you have the training room and everything already priced out, that includes the equipment that goes into that,
Mhm.
correct? So really the furnishings are gonna be
Be the
like
bedrooms.
and like extra touches here and there.
Well, yeah. If you give me a example of the furnishings, I'm gonna give 5,000 gold pieces for the whole rest of the house. It
Yeah.
includes hallways, bedrooms, and everything. Don't individually do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just make it hell for you guys.
Yeah.
Just
So-
decide a price, and then
So-
that's essentially the equivalent. You can always dumb down your personal place.
Yeah. We would like to do something kind of extravagant that we didn't include in this. We want to have we're talking about doing while we were outside, doing a garden on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And we
More
would
of a
like
greenhouse.
like a
type thing.
greenhouse on the roof, and it coming off of either Zalaria's workshop or Zalaria's bedroom. Workshop.
And she was gonna go upstairs, have a spiral staircase going up to it.
Mhm.
So that's a little extravagant.
So you can make your you can make healing potions and also work on refilling your medicine kit and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Mhm.
Wise, smart thinking.
And that was one of the 2 workshops. Because I put in 2 workshops.
1,200 will get you the greenhouse.
Yeah, if the greenhouse can be connected to the workshop, that would be her preference. She'd like her bedroom to be a nice, quiet, private space.
Yep.
I'd like Marzio's bedroom to be on the upper floor,
Mm-hmm.
with the wall facing the street and
Mm-hmm.
a big balcony, so he can go out and shout to the streets about his greatness.
It's beautifully done. There's wooden wooden carvings of Marzio on either side.
Yes.
Like the wooden pillars.
Yes.
There's little Marzios doing the whole, just like your model's doing. And there's beautiful flowers that the girls have collected and put as garland up next to it. And you address your people. Like, most people are just like, yeah, whatever, because, you know, it's Dathersport. But there is a large portion of people that you've won their happiness, and there's a couple girls that'll...
Occasionally, they gather once a day to...
Make me...
My little fan club.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got yourself a fan club. By the way, let's see what the groupies... Let's see what the groupies do, shall we?
What am I rolling?
Well, not from the spell list, from the skill list.
Performance?
I think that's a great call. Yeah, performance. Performance a little for me.
Are you gonna serenade them while you're out there too?
I don't think I have to in this instance.
Oh my god! Bitches ain't worth that.
Natural 20.
Flowers are
That'll
thrown!
make for a 28.
Panties are thrown! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're all swooning. Some of them are the workers. And you'll hear Big Sally will be like, "Get back to work, ladies!" "Oh yes, sir." And then they'll rush
Yes,
out.
ma'am, you mean?
No, you'll notice that she has a kind touch with them on that.
But you said, sir.
Oh yes, sir.
No, sir is a rank. It's not. Yeah, you can't. It's 2020, goddammit! Sir is supposed to be either man or woman.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am. But yeah, so for those who are do you guys remember those who've watched Princess Mononoke? That should be everybody.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Toki is kind of how the personality of Big Sally. I'm
Oh
trying
god, I have
to.
to remember who that is.
Oh, it's Kohaku's wife.
Terry's probably not too, like, wouldn't really know as much because
I don't think I've
it's
seen
not
that
an
movie.
anime.
What?
He still hasn't finished Gangs in New York.
I know.
I have 20 minutes left. Okay, you said Toki?
So,
The Kohaku, the ox driver's wife,
Okay.
will manage somehow.
with his extravagant room, how much more, or is it just going to be the cost of the large, since it was already $3,000?
What, to make his big?
Well, to make it extravagant the way he wants it.
Well,
Yeah,
again,
with
it's gonna
furnishings.
depend on how much you guys are doing for furnishings. Because if you go skimpy on the furnishings, then the nicest thing is going to be capped by that, essentially.
Okay.
So,
I'll
but
pay individually for.
No, that's fine. I was
room.
just making sure.
yeah,
Trying to crunch numbers.
yeah, like a good example would be if you wanted a nice place that everything was done like wooden cups and plates. You know, bare necessities, but still well made. You're looking at probably about $2,000. If you
For
want,
furnishings.
you know, the tables are pretty basic, but they're square and they don't squeak too much. The beds are above, you know, off the floor, actually have down mattresses. It would be livable and nice still, in fact. But if you want silk and goose down, and you want silver plates, and you want everything and more, toss me $8,000 to $10,000. And if you go anything over that, it just goes no overcharge. Depending on how much you go up, I will get more insane.
Okay.
So it's like a bid. Think about it like that. But that's to give you a good grasp. You want to live like a king, now's your
Gonna
chance.
Pay like a king.
Also, don't forget, you guys are going to have to pay people to clean this place up. That has a cost that's separate on its own. It does cost money, and it is expensive.
And I think that this will be a lot more expensive or larger for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
Well-
we're talking about like an 8-bedroom house right now.
I know. Zaleria will probably not want anybody to clean her room or her workshop. Just because she's probably like I am and an organized mess and doesn't want anybody to touch it. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing because I pictured you living in a birdhouse in the greenhouse, shapeshift and go sleep there. And like the rooms always kept clean. They're like, it's like she doesn't even sleep in it. So you guys tell me what you're thinking about for that.
All right.
I know I'm thinking pretty much basics stuff.
Yeah, but you also got to think. Haley has a medium room. You're also got to make that a office/bedroom.
Well, I'm thinking for Valerie,
Okay.
and Valerie would like something. Valerie actually wouldn't really want a big room. She would want a small room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, you also got to think we have two extra small rooms, so
Yeah,
we got
I know that I would
an
want
extra
something
medium
with
room and
outdoor
two extra
access,
small rooms.
like perimeter access.
Isn't that one of your secret passageways?
Yeah. Well,
I would.
what I'm wanting to do is kind of for Haley for
Mhm.
the outdoor access is if like she has a client that wants to come in, they have access to
Yeah,
her office,
Like a business front.
I just know that Zalaria will want her bedroom just simple, bare basics. She's not gonna decorate.
What if I throw
very
an
much
extra
or
small
anything.
bedroom in there for just the office?
But Haley also hasn't been inducted into the party yet.
Well, you've already.
With
followed
you,
this,
if you want to
so-
keep a basic home, if people are spending the money to make something opulent, you can still have basics.
Yeah,
But just remember that like the rest of the place has fine furnishings you can use.
right. Well, what I'm saying is like Zalaria will want just the basics in her room, and then like the kitchen and the dining, and especially the
Yeah.
Hall of Justice, like that we
Okay,
should
that's
have.
not sticking.
It already has.
Like especially in the Hall of Justice, like 'cause I imagine that's where we'd hold parties and meetings with outside
Yeah.
people. Like that should have lots of money spent on. But she's just like, my bedroom, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Her workshop, she'll want a little bit more because she'll want all of the nice equipment and stuff like that.
Think about it like don't think about it less for your individual bedrooms and more of what you want the decor to be for the whole place.
Technically, one of the workshops could be your office instead of a small room.
Haley's also probably not going to be very busy with outside work while being
You never
on
know.
an adventuring party
Well,
with you
it could
guys.
be like a.
Or-
I was thinking kind of a Jessica Jones esque.
God,
Like
that show's so good.
how you would run your
Comics are
business.
Excellent, by the way. If you haven't read them. In the newer years, not the earlier stuff.
Yeah, 'cause she wasn't always just Jessica Jones. She was Jewel.
It's like Deadpool. Eventually, when a writer's like when the writers gave up on her, somebody walked up and went, "I have an idea." So yeah. So what are you thinking for furnishings, ladies?
Well, we'll just go with, I guess, as much as we can. I don't know.
Well, all of these are going to cost 28.
But we already put 10.5 down.
Yeah.
That was just the down payment, right?
Mm-hmm. I would
Yeah.
say we could probably spend about 10K
Yeah.
on furnishings.
That sound good to you?
Is that for all the rooms or just?
Yeah.
It's
And
everything.
then if
Okay.
Marzio wants something extra, then he can pay extra.
Well, right now is opulent furnishings. That pays for the Marzio pillars. That pays for, and that's it. No, I'm kidding. It
Fine with
pays.
this.
It pays for grand depictions, paintings commissioned. Some of the gnome girls are very good with it, and they're just like looking at looking at Turth, and they're drawing his muscles like. But like you guys will walk through, and you'll notice that there's like a painting of your deeds that you guys have done.
Murals
Yes.
covering the entire walls. So of course we have Tonlin's double crit on the dire crocodile.
The candles you guys have, they're like the things that hold the candles are immaculate. They've been able to work the electricity for some of the parts that do exist already, that existed from when this was a Magitech factory, and now that it's working, they're able to take using brass tubes, the light from those, and bring them to certain other places. But like you walk by and there's a candelabra that costs more than like a person makes in like years. And like you'll look and there's like a rug going through, and you look at it and it's like this was hand woven and everything. Like it's amazing. And then you'll like kind of like look over, you get down, and you start moving off to the side. You look at the little tag and it says it was spun with like spider silk.
Oh my
You're like,
gosh.
Like, you guys paid for opulent furnishings, and it is classy all the way. Your rooms can be as you wish with that price.
Yeah, you said we
Feel
did
free on
10.
the crown molding.
We did 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's
It's more fit than most castles are with 10 grand.
But if we're gonna use a workshop for
Servants. Estimated
That's-
price on servants.
this is
for
the
this
bitch.
size.
This is the bitch.
I'm trying to get
You're
that
probably going to
one.
want to take a picture of this in your phone so you can reference it.
I think we should get
Here you go.
fucking.
Like I said, I would take
Alfred.
a picture of this right here. Yeah, you should.
For the Hall of Justice.
We should get what?
Lose your
Alfred.
inspiration.
Oh.
and never
What?
hear a
He
point you
never
ever
got
had.
it.
No, I'm kidding.
We're just mad because you didn't come up with the idea.
Alright, so
Haters make me famous.
Hmm?
Haters make me famous.
So you get an idea. If you want
Yeah.
skilled servants, unskilled servants, the size is going to be about the size of a fort, I think is what I decided on. Let me see, where is it?
Outpost or fort?
Yeah, outpost or fort.
Okay.
I'm looking at outpost or fort.
Mm-hmm.
So 50. So it
50
basically
gold pieces a day for 3.
A day?
no. It's 50 gold pieces for. If am I reading this right? Where it's 50 gold pieces for 20 hired or for 20 skilled, or is it 40? Or,
It's-
Oh yeah, sorry,
yeah,
that's 20.
This is
skill.
per day,
okay.
and this is how many people,
Okay.
and this is if you get unskilled.
Okay. So we could do 50 gold pieces for 20 skilled, or
Are we doing this
for
per day
40
or just
unskilled.
It is per day, so just times it by 30. For example, paying for the hirelings to make this place, that 8,000 that you paid the girls and Big Sally, that was taken from this note too. So 8,000 a month.
So $1,500
Would be-
gold pieces a month.
You get what I'm saying? So like, it's not as crazy as you think, because you guys officially as adventurers make bank. I mean, look at the haul you guys just made, and look how much money you've just blown.
Yeah.
You spent on furnishings. It will cost you that a month for the hirelings, essentially, but they will be
Well,
skilled.
it's 1,500. If it's 50 gold pieces for 20 per day, it's 1,500 for a month, and that's assuming they come every single day, which they probably shouldn't, because we're not going to be there every single day.
Yeah.
But they gotta you gotta think for the days we're not there, watering the plants.
Keeping things prepped,
Yeah, I guess
dusting.
feeding the
And
frog hemoth and
So it might not be like we need full staff every day, but we'll still need people there on a daily basis.
I would say the best
Can we
way to
do
deal with it,
25 gold pieces for 10 people?
like and do half that number,
Mhm.
it will be they will be worked hard, but they will still keep your confidence at that price. Yes.
I mean, that's worst case scenario.
Well, we're
if we
paying
gotta
them
cut costs somewhere, I
double.
mean, like,
and yeah.
sound like I'm a company now.
Um, So-
costs, we gotta downsize.
so if you guys want, also Big Sally will say that her and the girls can certainly take care of this while they're on strike. If you don't want to hire outside sources.
I would love to do that, actually. Give them work.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to do.
Now, they're not the best housekeepers.
So
But
they
on
would
the-
be like along the lines of the unskilled.
Well, but to get paid appropriately, even though it's not what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be paying for skilled workers, and they wouldn't be skilled at what you're doing. On the other hand, they'd be able to do other things, like, you know,
Repairs.
100% make sure that the more difficult things, like the special lighting you guys have, the secret passageways that they already know about,
And we're already
would be
paying for
kept
their
well
trust.
oiled. Yeah, and exactly. So it's a good payout because although like your bed may not be made without wrinkles,
I'm not worried about that shit.
and
Unacceptable.
that's kind of cool is to get and pay for that. Where you know you walk in and it's taken care of. It's gonna be like okay, they forgot to flip the mattress this time, but they really are trying hard. You know, and there will be good cooks. They will be good at cleaning. It's just not going to be perfect, but the payoff is going to be all the exceptionally hard stuff. Like your lockdown will 100% work every bit of the time because they're doing regular maintenance on it, and they're extra dedicated to you guys. because you guys have taken care of them during a hard time.
And we would be
So it's a
I would
good payoff,
conversate
is what I'm
this
saying.
with everybody. Is like I feel we should, we're doing servant. We have to have servants. I would like to hire these ladies to do it since they helped us fix the place up at least.
Well, and
I wouldn't mind having these ladies around more often.
Giggle, giggle, giggle.
So yeah, we'll do that.
After most of the construction is done on the last day, when you guys come home from whatever crazy shit you'll be doing, it's going to be amazing because you're going to see all the little gnomes are dressed like servants, like maids,
Can I
tastefully.
see that list real quick?
Tastily, you say.
They're definitely French maids.
Wrong piece of paper.
They're definitely French maided out. But not over sexual. It's like a medium between. It's sexy enough, but it's still very formal.
Okay.
It's definitely form-fitting, but they're not revealing anything.
It's not like maids in Dather's Port look like ladies to a large degree, like they wear nice dresses. And, no jewelry, but nice dresses. These will be wearing more of the French kind of maid outfits, but it's still a longer skirt, you perv. But it's still more provocative than a regular one. And Big Sally will be in a nice-looking tuxedo, and she looks totally uncomfortable in it. Tails and everything. But she has a big smile on her face, in between looking real uncomfortable. Head concierge Big Sally, here to take care of you. And a button will pop. One of the gnomes will go over and pick it up and start sewing it back on. Is this acceptable?
You don't have to wear a suit.
we would probably prefer it if you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
Be more comfortable.
But
I'm doing this as I'm writing.
the one with the glasses walks up and says, I don't think she'd be comfortable in a dress. And with all due respect, Master, and then,
No.
like, all the girls immediately... Yeah, they like kind of gasp a little bit because like that's such a strong connotation for them because they are slaves.
Yeah.
And you say no, and they all look kind of real surprised and, my lord, and then they'll all...
Bartholomew.
Let's just not with the titles.
Okay.
I don't know.
She says-
Let's think about this for a second.
Okay, you can call Marzio whatever he wants to be called, but the rest of us don't.
You can call me
need
Tirth
titles.
or Bartholomew
Okay.
by my name. Thank you.
And she'll poke her glasses and, a little bit. But you are worthy of respect, and we do actually have to dress this way to make sure that you guys kept that respect. And
You're
Big
equal
Sally
to me.
says, she says, I appreciate that, Tirth, but you are paying me to do a job. And
So?
when people show up, they should see that your head concierge is dressed appropriately. She's like, I'm not comfortable yet, but I'm not wearing a dress, and I can't wear my normal clothes. Not and make sure that you guys get the respect you're paying for. Besides, when she gets in real close, she says, you took
Bless
care,
her, bless.
you're taking care of my girls. That means the world to me. It's worth a little gussying up in order to make sure that the people you invite here, for whatever reason, give you the respect you guys earned. For Dathersport. For our
Just-
home.
Just know that if you need to dial it down a notch,
Or keep
It is
spare
okay.
clothes in the house. You're welcome to just, outside wear this and then inside change into something else.
alright, what is Friday?
One of the gnomes.
Uh,
FRI, so IR.
IRF. Just remember
IRF.
IRF, you
IRF.
can implement a casual IRF or something.
She
From up
smiles.
in my room, you can hear me like, you can call me Marzio the Venerable and Dashing.
So dashing! One of the gnomes will actually whisper something to Big Sally, and she gets a big smile. She's like, I think that's a great idea. The next couple of days you see her, she'll be in her normal attire, but when like the doorbell rings or anything, she'll go like this to her like Rosie the Riveter thing. She tightens it a little bit, pulls it tighter, and it'll head a disguise. Because they can
Yes.
afford it. 700. It's expensive,
That's
but
expensive.
but for the boss,
Yeah.
I get that the girls would be all about doing that.
Yeah.
Like a happy boss's day thing. And then she could be able to be respectful for you guys when you guys need. So that's a good compromise, and I can see the girls doing that and offering it. So that's the keep. We'll be able to draw that out. But I know there's some other things you guys want to do in the meantime. So let me take another quick smoke.
Sure.
And then you guys discuss what you're going to tackle next.
Okay.
Is there something that I should have thought about earlier that I thought and would be probably a good call?
And how much would it cost me to get my wagon back as well? I would pay out of my pocket for that. Let's say if you have the equipment.
What page are you looking for? We're looking at? Here.
I'm
He's
still-
looking at it in the index.
Yeah, here. When he says the page number, flip to that in this book. And there should be cart there too. Thank you. Whack!
I'm sorry. I definitely wasn't looking, and that was my bad.
It's not on goods and services, is it? That's what it used to be on the old page.
Cart is 15 gold pieces.
Oh, look at you, just looking it up on D&D Beyond.
What, a horse?
A card.
Cart?
I mean, you could probably
I'll take
add a
the book
horse
back
to
then.
your inventory and find out what it is on D&D Beyond as well.
A draft horse is 50 GP and a riding horse is 75 GP.
And then how much gold have you guys spent on this whole project?
We have put
10,000.
10,500 down. The
10,000
total that it's going to cost is 37,100.
But, I mean, do you want us to nickel and dime it for tack and everything?
No.
So
'Cause, I mean, they got all of this stuff written down too. Like bit and bridle, saddles, saddlebags,
We don't need those things.
feed.
well, I'm buying a cart with 15. I said 15, right?
Yep.
15 GPs.
Oh my god. Fucking perfect.
What?
Okay. I'll tell you guys in a minute. Keep my fingers crossed so I don't forget. Okay.
So it's like the first night there that everything's like completely and totally.
Well, no, they're still building this throughout the month.
Yeah, it'll be at the end of the month. And then you seeing the girls represented.
Gotcha.
Also, there would be a runner. It's not Gary, it's what's his name? You changed his name.
The one who asked for all of our autographs, or
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I know
Herman.
Marzio.
His real name is Sherman, but he
Yeah.
changed
And
it to
then
Herman.
He called him Herman.
Yeah. So Herman will show up and ring the bell and everything, and the door opens and Big Sal says, which one in particular do you want to speak to? And he's like, actually, you guys will all overhear this. I was sent to give this to you. And he pulls out a set of 50 scrolls and hands them all over, and she starts crying immediately, and she takes the scrolls and she falls to her knees, and all the scrolls fall out, and all the girls are all walking over and just touching on her. She's just bawling.
Zaliri's gonna go over and see, she'll gently pick up one of the scrolls to see what it is.
It's Legion. It's written in common, so Elven. You're reading through it, and it's a writ from the city itself. It is approval of purchase for Shania. Permanent purchase.
One of the gnomes? They're buying the gnomes.
They bought their freedom with the gold you guys gave them. They had plenty to do it with too.
Oh, shit.
So all 50 of these gnomes are now, they're not free. Freedom costs a lot more, and most of the time they just get snagged back up. You can walk up to a free gnome, and if you're strong enough to do it, you can pretty much bully them into it.
Yeah.
But they're now effectively Big Sal's property. So essentially they're free.
Yeah.
She owns it to give them free reign.
Yeah.
They're like Dobby.
I was thinking they're more like freed slaves from actual black culture, but not freed slaves, but they're purchased to a good owner now, so that she can let them live the life that she gives them, because she sees them as being just
So
the
like
same.
Django.
Very much, or like the German in Django. I forgot what his name was.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The German that bought Django.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. And then so it's she has the ownership, so the people can't take it. But other than that, they're pretty much
That's
free.
the only reason why she has it. Gotcha.
So that's pretty exciting, because I hadn't thought about that. And after doing the math, dividing it by 3 is their profit. They still had enough, and they still have some left over. So yeah, that's pretty neat.
Nice.
So with that said and done, I know I've taken up a lot of your guys' time doing a lot of this. So there's that. But what are you guys wanting to do? It's your world.
What do you want to take care of first?
First,
Tame or?
let's
I
get
want to
tame.
first have that conversation.
Okay, fine. We'll have the conversation.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice,
We
the Marzio statue is very opulent as the cod piece is made out of pure platinum. But the rest is out of shimmering solid gold and jewel encrusted. The rest are way more toned down.
I'm cool with that.
So, guys, I figure you guys might want to know about this encounter. I've been kind of thinking about it, and obviously I've been sticking around here. So when I went to go check out my apartment, which I should check on again. When I went to go check out my apartment, there was this halfling chick there that kind of threatened me into
Sounds familiar.
staying with you guys.
Was she
and
about yay
making
high?
sure
Had a
that
dagger
I
about this big.
I mean, it
Threatened you
seemed,
at least a
it
couple
seemed
times?
that she was possessed by the dagger. Maybe I'm not sure what that was about, but she offered me, or kind of forced me, threatened me to help take care of you guys. I just
Oh,
figured
how
you guys
sweet.
might like to know that this person's still cares about you enough to threaten somebody to help take care of you. So
Well,
yeah.
there's not a whole lot I think we can do about it. It is concerning. Maybe we should send something to Malik. Let him know what's going on.
Probably not a bad idea.
I think that's about all we can do.
I just figured out that you guys know I'm sticking around apparently. I don't really have a place to go. I mean, I should check on my apartment. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get kicked out of there soon, even though that would be bullshit because I'm a Euro of Davenport. But, I might need a place to stay.
Well, I mean,
Why don't you bring your stuff to our place?
Yeah, you might as well just move in here. We've got the extra rooms. Are we going to have the extra
I look
rooms?
at Marzio, I'm like, I mean,
She can stay in my room.
Some of the gnome girls are crying with happiness. It's seeing this whole thing go on.
I appreciate it.
and I got a cart, so I'm like, load that up and bring your stuff here.
So
Take
just
whichever
somewhere-
room you need.
I mean, I would prefer something with a access outside.
We have an
in case
extra
I have
workshop.
clients.
We have an extra workshop, so
Not that I'm going to be taking on any new clients, being this one threatened to take on.
You were also
a set.
paid.
I was grossly underpaid and definitely take care of these guys.
That's true. We
So-
are
with her owning this business though,
Mm-hmm.
could she have I guess runners sent and pretty much jobs dropped in a box essentially for her? Kind of like a.
You can do or set up anything you wish.
That's what I was thinking for you. That way, if you're not there, you can still get a job if need be.
I think we could
set up a
probably work
workshop,
something up with Big Sal and taking messages and whatnot.
kind of like a secretary type thing. Yeah.
Sort of.
She's already our main
She knows.
concierge, so
At least one of the girls could take care of it.
yeah.
And then one of the gnomes walks over and tugs on her and speaks to her, and then she's like, "You can go ahead and say it." She goes, "We're your servants, so if you give us the key, we'll go move your stuff for you."
Okay.
She takes the key, and all of them kind of fight over it for a brief second before they all rush off.
I want to carry. No.
Corralling the horse is really difficult because right now the only horse you guys have is Dozer. You haven't returned him yet.
He's ours forever. What are you talking about?
But he gets. He
I'm
will,
sorry, Vorid, but no, those are staying with us.
I'm sure that conversation will go real well. Also,
I
the
would
next day.
also-
Ruff, ruff.
Gary.
When I
Who the
get
hell is
when I get my cart, I would like to buy a horse or two.
Okay.
So to pull the cart at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Donkey, horse, anything you want. You can find the
Okay.
price for it, and you may have them.
Zaleria's gonna give lots of extra love to Gary before he runs off again.
It gives you big dog tongue licks right across the face.
Great.
The girls come back with all your stuff and put it in your new place.
So
set
this
it all
is-
up.
From Valerie.
It's her handwriting
Yeah.
for sure.
Hmm.
Bright side, if she was possessed, wouldn't be her handwriting.
So a draft horse would be like what I should attach to a cart.
Yeah, because draft horses are big.
You laughing at the hey ass hats?
But the girls
I had
get
to
you.
keep it in Valerie.
You didn't think this was Valerie with how she greets us?
Eventually, through the weeks, one of the girls will all, like a group of like 5 of them will ask. They're like, "We're the ones." One's with one of the glasses, and they're all like, "So when we're acting as your secretary during that day of the week, we're all going to take that responsibility. We need a uniform."
I got some ideas.
Jesus
I would rather you not create the uniform for my helpers. Maybe for yours. Whenever you take over them.
I actually want to buy two cards.
Marzio?
I got you.
I'm gonna buy 2 cards actually. So
Sure.
What about a wagon?
Wow,
Yeah,
way
just
to
a
call
wagon.
us out, Valerie.
because the cart's the same thing.
I don't think that is the case.
That
I mean, a
means
cart
you
is
chirp
like-
in Valeria.
A car is like the thing people have in the street where they show their wares and everything, but a wagon is for transport.
Khajiit has cart.
The cart is what Marzio hid in when we went to go fight Clemens.
Yeah, it was great.
It's like a cart that they would have like a haystack on it
Yeah.
and fucking Assassin's Creed. Whereas like a wagon.
Who keeps leaving these around? They're just everywhere.
And I'll greet the gnomes that came to me that are gonna be my helpers, and just something that's not necessarily dressy but casual. You can wear pants, shirt.
Oh, you're
Just
going
something
shopping
specific.
with us.
Sure.
Well, actually, you kind of have to. We get harassed less if our masters are around. So
I get it.
she smiles. Let's go.
Okay, it's a little bit more. I'm like, okay, yeah.
So you
I'll
wanted
Buy
to
2
dress like
wagons.
what?
I would say something along the lines of like a business casual.
Okay.
A nice pair of pants or skirt if they would like to, and a nice blouse.
Okay.
Something that's not super expensive. Maybe not necessarily fine clothes, but like
Yeah, a step up
Do you think I should do one
from commoner
horse per
though.
wagon?
Yeah, they'll go ahead and
Just one
appreciate
horse.
that. Most of them will opt out to not do the pants because
Per wagon?
it is
Just
it
one
is
for
common
now.
enough,
We'll stay
but it
next
is still
to-
one of those things
Yeah,
that still
if
turns
we
an eye.
need the second
And they
one,
want
we
to
need
blend
the
in to be,
No,
it's
totally
more
got it.
about
probably I would say
I
fine
think 2
clothes are
wagons
like
is probably a
25
good call because
pieces
knowing
of
us, we'll
the-
probably
or-
end up leaving it
or
somewhere.
Oh yeah, getting it destroyed. We'll shove it down a
I mean, fine
roadway
clothes
to
are
destroy
noblemen.
somebody.
So having a backup
Common
just
clothes
ready
is
to
what
go
you're
is
looking
probably
for.
smart.
Alright, so I own 2 wagons and a horse now. Draft horse.
all in the stables.
Congratulations.
Common clothes are 5 silver piece.
Yeah.
A piece. I'll probably spend a gold piece pair.
Okay, so they're upper echelon, well-made clothes.
Yeah.
Probably not super fancy to not outshine you because
Yeah.
again they're being secretaries. They don't want to stand out too much. But being look like they're taken care of in that aspect does help your business, and it would be durable, which they seem to appreciate a lot. Mostly because if something blows up, they don't change their clothes before they go to work.
Yeah.
The stables is really funny because as you see that the horses are being fed, and Dozer's not necessarily being fed, but he likes to be, brushed occasionally.
They brush his metal plates.
No, they're doing it. They're doing it with the
Angle
with
grinders?
metalwork.
Isn't he made out of stone essentially?
No, he has really thick plates, and they've bolted
Oh,
the
okay.
heavy metal into the plates. So they shine it up, keep it from rust. He's never looked so shiny. But like some of the gnomes, like you'll see one of the haystacks, and like one will pop up and has hay all over in their face, and they'll spit out a bunch of hay. It's like they're everywhere because they're so inquisitive all the time. And these are gnomes, like you guys have never seen them because they are so free to act. You know, you've never seen it like that. It is definitely a elf from Harry Potter kind of feel normally when you guys have come across them. But these, they're like so curious and they're fucking in everything. Like human ferrets. Just all of a sudden they just pop out of shit and you're just like,
You just open a barrel and
Yeah,
there's a gnome.
exactly. And they look in, they have like fudge all in their face, like, I don't know why I did it. Just close it back up and move on.
Zalaria would like pull them out and like set them down and just be like, just drink lots of water, you'll be okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick. It's the pregnant one, of course. Because chocolate or fudge.
She'll make her go eat some vegetables.
Ew. You're mean. But they do take care of the place pretty well. They try to.
Are these like fucking Keebler elves or whatever? Like,
They're the industrious and inquisitive nature of gnomes is always like they're not just brushing with a broom. They've like taped 4 brooms together and they're trying to work smarter, not harder. And it's not because they're lazy, it's because they think they can figure it out. They're always trying to invent new ways to do something. And every single time you look, like you'll notice like the windows are perfectly shiny except for one window, and it's like, oh, I tried a new concoction that was supposed to keep it cleaner longer. I think it's going to be that way for a while. That's kind of the feel you get. They're always like, every time you see them try to do something, they're trying to reinvent the wheel better, build a better mousetrap is a better way to say it. They're just inquisitive. And they get curious about different things a lot, because that's how gnomes are supposed to be, is inquisitive. They're not dumb, but these in particular seem like they've been pent up from so many years of slavery that they're kind of going nuts. But it's cute. It's not bad. But that's why their behavior is the way it is.
Zalaria is very much just like, go nuts, but be safe about it.
There's one zip lines from the ceiling to watch the high windows.
Whee!
let's get dangerous.
In the hat, too. It's perfect. All right, so you've had your talk. You're able to stay. When you've got a secretary now, they can take care, or they'll take care of it from the outside.
Secretary.
They do.
Oh.
One of them does take really, really long lunches. About the time Marzio comes by. Just saying.
I thought at first it was going to be a Talia reference.
Not Faye on stream Tay.
You
So,
can edit that out, right?
I guess.
not from live television.
Who really cares?
Yeah. All right, so
Is she really watching our stream right now?
No.
you never know. Okay, so moving on. What else are you guys doing with your downtime?
You sound unsure. You seem sure, so.
I can see who's watching.
Nobody, right?
One person, but they're not logged into a Twitch account. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's a bot.
Okay. What else you got?
Let's get tame.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Let's get dangerous now. Let's get tame.
Okay, what?
You said let's get dangerous, and then you're like, let's get tame. Okay.
So we quarantined off Red Fountain Square
Mhm.
to keep the spread from happening. Since we sort of have a cure to this, can we unquarantine Red Fountain Square? And would Mother Ivory would have helped us do that?
Yes, actually, one very ceremonious thing is it's kind of like the falling of the Berlin Wall.
No, you're good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
Grinwald and all of the
Oh.
Shankhill slaughterers are working to knock them all down, but it's like there's actually a big ceremony before they break and reopen Red Fountain Square, remove all the bricks from it and all the dead. So it's now all open and everything else. So all the walls are now down. You guys also will receive, dipped in gold, one of the bricks.
Nice. That's good enough justice.
Yes.
Because that was quick thinking, and that kept the population from going down a lot quicker, a lot earlier. No. So just so you guys know. So there's also that brick. You should add that to the keep. Anyway. So yeah. So it's open.
Alright.
So we'll go to where?
Grim and Talon.
Yeah.
Grim and Talon, go get Tame, set him up in one of our spare bedrooms for now until we're able to get Mother Ivory to help get him out of stasis.
Okay. Let's interact with that. So the walls down. There's a bunch of Shankhill slaughterers standing in front of it. Obviously, it's Skull Anvil owned. You guys have seen to that. They pay the protection money too, but now that they're joined up with them, the closest is the Shankill Slaughters. So they'll be standing guard. They see you guys and they'll step aside. They haven't been letting anybody in. You open up the little double doors. Cobwebs. That's not something you're used to seeing here at all. Cobwebs everywhere. It's a mess. It looks like Gayer was living in filth, no sleep, trying to figure out what's happening at Tame, trying to help you guys with constructing stuff for you guys. You see there's magical items that are destroyed everywhere. Like, it's almost like he went through his stuff and started destroying tons of his own things. It's cold. It's dark. You guys can't see very much past this point.
Like deep dark, or like is that?
Yeah,
dark
you'd be
vision?
able to see with your dark vision. You look around and you can see none of the lights have been going on. What?
Light up a torch. I said, we'll light up a torch.
I was gonna say, Larry has also got night vision, so she'll probably go in and start looking for Tang. Wherever he's being kept.
We're all looking for Tang.
When you guys go to the back room, you feel a tripwire gets pulled. Then you look over and you see it's been disarmed. You're like, and all the magic items just again are destroyed. And you see just frozen in place in the same moment, or the same moment that you saw him as Tame, like doing the.
I thought we were able to get him laying down.
You were. Gayer has placed him back up since then.
Oh.
He's glowing with a. It's almost like if you know how when you put silk across somebody, you see a little bit of their pigmentation covered by the color of the silk. It's like silk is being wrapped around him consistently, but it's not. It only tapers around to itself. So it's like a force field of silks just constantly moving in red colors.
Is he able to be moved?
You go to pick him up.
Does he look like he's able to be moved to investigate the area?
Please do.
14 plus 7, so a 21.
Okay. 21?
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the 21, it looks like he's been moved several times. But you also notice that there is a small a small stone carving spot. And you look and you see the shavings off of it. And you see a section cut out, and it reminds you an awful lot of something somewhere. Some small
It's the plaque
plaque.
that was sent to us to wake the giant with Gare's head.
I was thinking
I'm pretty sure you kept it.
to our place.
I don't think so.
It's lost to the void?
No.
No, I think somebody kept it. I don't remember who though.
Was it you? Pack rat?
Yeah. It was either me or Jonathan. I mean, me or Josh. That
Okay.
kept it.
We'll say, since he's not here, you.
Can I try and figure out what spell is on Tame right now?
Yeah, you can make me an Arcana check.
I would like to look around and see if there's any magical items that have not been destroyed.
That one.
That one? You have no clue.
Look at it and pick your nose.
Taking a look through it, one thing that
Spell.
make me an investigation check.
And yeah.
Yeah. See what you
No
get.
shit, Sherlock.
You're a
It's some
detective.
kind of magical thing.
It's magic.
It's magic. It's a thing.
Investigation?
But the
Mhm.
reason why I ask if he looks like he can be moved is because I want to move him
Not
out of here.
He can be moved.
Okay.
Modified 20.
Yeah.
Taking a look around, you notice they all have been destroyed, but there is a small. It's almost like cobalt blue dust, almost everywhere.
Can I cast Identify on it?
Sure.
Can I make a medicine check on Tane to see how far the plague has gotten to him?
Sure.
Yeah, I cast identified. I'm trying to figure out what the magic.
Spend the time to do it. Do you also have detect magic? Because you have to do identify. A lot of times, you also want to have detect magic up.
13.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What'd you get? 30?
13.
A 13? Yeah. Well, you get high stats like that. He was just about to blow up. You're guessing that Mother Ivory's immediately going to.
We don't know.
The minute you guys can drop the spell, it's elf blood.
Yeah.
And then
Could we do elf blood before we even drop the spell?
maybe you're not sure what the spell is.
Okay.
Marzia sure as hell isn't.
But yes, I do have detect magic.
My knowledge in
It's-
magic is very limited.
Taking a look,
Maybe
there's
Mother
magic.
Ivory will.
When you see magic, and then as you focus on it, you can
Maybe
usually
Mother
identify
Ivory
at
will.
school.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting the feeling that this is magic.
Okay.
Oh, very, very light. But there's no school attached to it whatsoever. And that's the weirdest thing. Because almost everything has a school immediately attached to it. So, like, you see a broken wand of fireballs and all the blue dust around it and everything else, and you're looking at it, and it should have conjuration.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't.
So I want to collect all of the dust that I possibly can.
Sure. Case of cocaine. Okay. Yeah, you collect all
That's
the
how
dust
he
you
stayed
can.
awake this whole
There's
time.
there's a lot of it.
Okay.
You see
Like how much?
Like Tommy
a
level.
bag,
Like
a small bag full.
Tony Montana.
Tommy.
You guys
I know
would
Tommy.
see
I was gonna
some
say
of the
Tommy
food that you guys sent
or
him
Tony.
has been eaten. Some of it was discarded and moldy just from him going directly to work. His sketches are frantic and furious as to getting you the glamour armor and some of the other things and some of the other. You see, he writes contingencies behind so many
I
things.
want to take all of his books that he has. Reason being that way it doesn't get in the hands of somebody else.
Okay. You would find that, like, you do find a very large tome, and you can guess it's his spell book, but you start reading, you start to look through it, this thing's been coded to fucking back.
Okay.
Dular is sniffing at the dust and he'll spits a little gout of flame and looks real excited that he did it. Mighty.
Very mighty. Please don't sniff any more dust. We don't know what it is.
And he starts chewing on a wand and hops back on you.
She's just like, whatever. He's red now.
Yeah, he settled on red.
I'm
So
actually pictured like a broken gemstone or something. Your stash.
yeah, exactly.
This hilarious bag just gets heavier and heavier, and she's just like, oh dear.
This place smells, and you guess that it's because Gayer was working so frantic to try to help you guys. Not from what you guys have asked him to. He was trying to go above and beyond. The research notes on the special weapons that you guys just got, by the way, this is the special Hearthstone style gem slots.
Mhm.
Those are maddening. You look at those notes and they're highly coded, but you see the pictures and drawings that he can't code those very well.
Yeah.
Like you can, but he didn't bother to code those. He broke himself. So that's why he couldn't defend himself. And that's when you guys see the next room, which the bedroom is blood everywhere. Broken furniture, and the rest of his body is there. It's been stripped of all of its skin and all the bones laid bare. All the muscles ripped from it. And the bones are like bleached white. It's disgusting, and it looked brutal. He couldn't defend himself because he was working so hard trying to get these things for you guys. Don't feel guilty about that. But he got his ass trounced, and it was physical, broken against the wall, thrown against the ceiling, and then his body somehow is now just bone and bleached. So, no head, obviously.
Did we keep his head?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Meanwhile, in the bag of holding,
I know Zalaria like
I
wrapped
legit
it
think
back
is
up.
actually in a bag of holding.
it's the freshest place to keep it. Because after 10 minutes, it ceases to have oxygen. So it's not biodegrading there. So yeah,
Well, eventually we might be able to resurrect it.
He kept his head.
so what you guys doing there?
Zaria will start getting Tame ready to move, and we'll take him back to our place. She'll also make sure that all of his sketches, anything that looks like
That looks like it might be of any kind of importance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to take.
Is taken from here and delivered to our library.
Yeah.
So that we can make sure that it stays safe.
In a locked area.
I mean, the entire thing is like locked down,
Yeah.
so But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll keep it in a safe space.
I will collect what I can of Gator's body,
The bones.
so that we can.
Give them
I don't know
proper
why I
burial.
imagine our library like Doctor Strange. The library was where he would yeah, that's what I imagine our library looked like. Gigantic.
I'm gonna remind everybody that remember they did find a cure. We
Yeah.
need to find a hat, and we need to get some elf's blood. And I'm pretty sure that we can bring him back.
Yeah. We're getting him out of here, and we're going to take him to our place, and we're going to
Get
get
him
him.
somewhere safe until we're able to find the.
He's gonna need time to recover, regardless.
Lay on hands would be from Bonham would be a good way to get rid of the disease too.
Yeah, if
Once
we
you
can't
get that
get the
one.
paraphernalia.
I mean,
Right.
Mother Ivory would have paladins also,
Mm-hmm.
and clerics, and
Well, and Greater Restoration is also some of the druids would have it, and also some of the all the clerics will have it too. So yeah, you guys have that. That's not so much a worry. You guys can
so
have
we
that
really
spell.
just need to get the elf's blood.
And find and somehow get him out of this. So
We need to get some. Well, we have the thing to the plaque for the statue. We need to make sure we get this over there. And somebody who can read it.
sorry, I'm trying to see
Too
what spells
bad.
I have.
Oh no, already left.
I mean, we could
I'm
probably
on my way.
catch up to her. Would
She's moved a full block since you
Check.
guys last spoke with her.
never mind. Nope, that's not.
I guess I did cast 2 spells. One for detect magic and for identify.
Can't you ritual both those?
Yes, but I still. Well, I guess I do have ritual for
Yeah,
both.
I would ritual that.
The ring.
Whoopsies.
Oh, nothing. Just gold ring.
Done.
Vanity.
Done.
Same as his gold tooth.
What skill is it to try and figure out what spell it is?
Arcane.
Okay.
I also have detect magic up.
That's a 7.
Tame is blinding. Huh?
For me,
Yeah, when you look over, it's like, oh god, it's like looking at the sun.
get a tan.
It's just so bright.
You want to get magic cancer? Because that's how you get magic cancer.
You want ants?
I gotta keep my tan up somehow.
But taking a look at it, you can tell that it is some mixture of divination, some mixture of conjuration, but altogether something completely different is it's pinging like magic, but it's not magic.
Is it like magic?
I can't.
Confirm
There would be
or deny?
there would be no way for me to give this to you, except for if you think you've ever met an Illithid, a Githyanki, or an Illithid or a Githyanki. Both creatures
Some
that
kind of psychic shit. Psionics.
I have Abyssal and Common as my languages.
Not the same.
I have
Yeah.
Celestial.
Not the same.
yeah, no, this neither one of these. So sorry. It's something altogether different. It's not like Magitech. I can tell you that. You've seen Magitech. It's not like Magitech, but it's something altogether different.
It's just not of this plane, not of this world.
It's certainly a new kind of magic.
Okay.
So you guys go back, you set him up, you invite Mother Ivory, she's like, oh my god, and she rushes over and, oh, this poor thing. And she takes a look and she's like, I do not know the magic that protects him right now. But based on his state, and she says, we'll need elf blood. And they've found donors, and she has a vial. And she says, if we can lower the magic, then we can certainly get him cured.
Dispel magic.
What? Just replacing the plaque in the
box.
where it goes on the statue. Then I'll try to dispel magic.
Oh, I have dispel magic. That's what I was looking for.
So you set the plaque. You set the plaque in the little base that they made for him,
Mhm.
or that Gator made for him.
Yeah.
Okay, and then nothing happens. Then you cast a spell magic. You said.
Do we have the ampules here?
Yeah,
Okay.
they.
Yeah,
Like
Mother
they're
Ivory.
on hand. Like
Mother
before-
Ivory has
Before
them.
before we lower anything, I
She
wanna
actually
make
has
sure
syringes.
I just want
She
to
would
make,
also
sure,
have ampules. Yeah,
make
no.
sure that everything's there to get this done.
Yeah. She says the timing of this will have to be incredibly swift. I'm fast, but perhaps one of you warriors should do it?
I'm pretty fast, if I do say so myself. I'll take it.
Are we doing a check on
Probably acrobatics. For speed.
or athletics?
I ain't telling you. Tell me what you're going to do.
I will be ready with the ampulla, just like millimeters away from the field.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it goes down.
Awesome.
And I want to be there to catch him if he falls over.
You could have studied that spell for that day.
I have it, but I didn't see if it was.
Okay.
Wait,
and
what
you have it
spell
too?
are we looking for?
Dispel
Dispel magic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely have dispel magic.
Sweet.
It's just for some reason not prepared. So I can have it prepared for that day. We
Yeah, I was like, I have it.
Sure.
I have it too. So.
So you both cast it?
We can.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. As you guys cast it, you notice that the tablet breaks, and the magic that's been the other worldly magic dissipates.
Okay.
There's now only regular magic. About that time, you guys cast it, and suddenly the silks will just start pulling away, and he gets color back into his face as You go to stab? All right, roll me an initiative. Oh! This game wants tame dead.
16 total.
Okay. Okay, 16 total. Okay. So, now go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Attack roll.
Mhm.
With my rapier or the ampule?
Ampule.
What
You
is
are
my
not
bonus
proficient.
for that?
You are not proficient with it. You use your dexterity. Because it's light, you can finesse it. Sure.
It's like a dagger.
But you're proficient with the dagger.
But stat it like a dagger that I'm not proficient with. Ooh, 21.
21? Okay. So basically, it beat you in initiative, so you essentially tap in it, and you see the magic isn't fully dead yet. And it sparks off of it for a brief second. And then that's when you notice you're like, I missed my opportunity. But you have more than one attack per turn, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and, with that attack there, you're able to stab into him and inject it. And I rolled to see, like, on the high or low, if you had injected too much on the first pull, you're fine.
Okay.
You stab him and he's, ah! He'll backhand you.
I'll take it.
Ah! He's walking around with it on him, and he pulls it out and throws it down.
We need to give him some heals.
Yeah. Hold on. I have something.
Lesser restoration.
Yeah, Mother Ivory will take care of the.
I was like, I don't think I have that
She'll cast
spell.
Greater Restoration.
Okay.
And she'll do it. Her hand motions are very simple, and it'll just be like this. And you see the color will go, the big boils from the plague like shrink down. He's, it'll wake you up in the morning. And he walks up and looks up to you.
Glad to see you walking around again.
Glad to see you again. What happened?
It's a long story. You might want to sit down for it.
Let's get some food.
Where are my clothes?
About that.
Some of the maids run up and clothe him.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say
Well,
about that.
I
They probably
just,
had, like,
but
disintegrated.
well, wait, one runs between his legs, which is tough because he's a short
Yeah,
man.
he's short, yeah.
Yeah. So as you guys are talking to him and you tell him, when you say the part about Gayer dying, it's sad to see him cry. But he will have he just starts shaking and you see like a single tear just like shakes itself free. But you got the bastard that did this?
No,
Yes, sir.
Not yet.
not the one that killed Gator.
We got the one who set off the plague. But do we know it's a devil?
Mhm.
Demon?
You know
Okay.
it's a devil.
It's a god.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's a devil that has breached into goddom. I'm sure Bonham would talk with you guys during campfires about stuff like
Probably. But Zelaria will just be like, it's really hard to go after a god, essentially.
It's on
Especially
the list, though.
when we can't even travel between planes.
We are doing our best, though. We promise you that.
I feel I owe you all a bit of an explanation. Me and the lad were part of an adventuring party long time ago. He was some wizard's, some kind of fancy wizard. I don't get into all that magics. It was what they call a scion. Fought through all kinds of planes together. Can't believe he's gone. But you see, he really comes to reconcile with it a little bit. He says, he told me some of his secrets. And he, after discussing the state of the place, he says he found a way to take a magic item and take what was make it special and crush it and make a gem out of it. You could use for some fancy ingredient.
Yeah.
We did keep all of his notes.
He looks over.
We did collect some of the dust as well.
Ah,
I'll reach up and grab whatever he was reading.
yeah,
for.
it's Gayer's notes.
The note. Yeah, I'll grab him. Hand it to him.
He'll flip it open. He says, "The dust will do you no good. But," he says, "with the notes, I have just enough to jog my memory. I was always the blacksmith. He was always the caster. But I could, I could pick up from this."
And I'll help him to try and decipher some of the stuff.
Excellent. Make me an intelligence check. Basically, in the world of D&D now, as opposed to when we were in Pathfinder, if you want to have a fiery weapon, you have to go and actually forge it in a volcano, or you have to have exotic things like the tongue of a basilisk. For all intents and purposes, this process, if she gets the intelligence check necessary, she'll also learn it, as long as she keeps it under extreme secrecy with Gayer. Don't you have
I
inspiration?
used it.
14.
First time, yeah.
You get that with a little bit more time with these notes, you can get it, and you can see that essentially you have to destroy, it's still taxing.
Okay.
If you go find the right item to make a magic item, it's still way better. But if you can't get your happy ass to two different parts of the universe on a quest to get a particular magic item, basically if you take magic items that you don't care about, you can distill them down to part of an ingredient in a 2-for-1 ratio. So it's
Kind of like disenchanting something.
in Skyrim, very similar to it. So if you guys want, if you want something made, instead of just selling your magic items that you don't want, you may wish to do this, and then I will give you the gems essentially for them and keep them in gears. And you can learn this technique.
Yeah, I
for
would
crafting.
like him to take these notes particularly to my workshop if possible, so that I can study them further.
And Zelaria will offer he's welcome to stay here with us. We have the spare space, and
We have the resources for him.
I appreciate it,
to
laddie,
survive.
but I'm afraid I've got to clean up and get the shop running.
You're welcome.
God, my
here.
Scottish accent is shitty. I haven't worked on a Scottish accent in forever. I'm just tripping on it. He'll sound more Scottish later.
You're still welcome to come anytime you need. And if you need to store anything here, we will keep it safe.
He nods. Well, I better go back to cleaning up the old homestead.
You should probably eat and maybe sleep before you do
Eat and
that.
sleep before you go back.
I took what I could of Gayer's remains. Do you know of any way he would prefer to be put to rest?
I do.
We'd like to help in any way we can.
I'm afraid it'll be a little bit more. I'm afraid it may be a bit of a quest.
He was a good man, and he helped us a lot. This is the least we could do for him.
He smiles real big. Let's see. So, probably best to not tackle that just yet. Maybe towards the end of the episode. But know that that is definitely something we're going to be doing. And that could certainly, if you guys don't want to deal with the war part just yet, if you guys want to do more towards that, we could. So as far as planning where your adventure goes, that's something you guys can do. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to try to do something crazy with him, or just hold on to him for fucking ever.
Let's finish healing Tame, because I know the elf blood wasn't all of it.
Well, Mother Ivory cast it.
Yeah,
like
she's-
he's fine now.
Okay, he's good to
It's
go.
still, it's still like Zalaria is still very concerned and thinks he should eat and rest and
Okay.
take time to process the grief
Alright,
and all that
so
other
we're good to
stuff.
go.
The girls have a tough time with cooking for him because he eats like a horse. Mother Ivory at one point will say,
Sorry, my hip cramped. Would she have actually known that?
it's rare. It's almost never seen. Almost never.
I feel like
Yet there it is.
maybe Zalaria could put two and two together. I mean, she's traveled everywhere.
It's up to you. But she definitely says it.
I'd say
Like
she
Mother
could-
Ivory notices.
Right. I'd say that Zalaria was able to put two and two together and was just like, I did know that, but I haven't said anything to anyone else.
She nods and she does like this
Mhm.
for obvious reasons. So there's that and that. What else are you guys wanting to do before we go into some serious craziness?
Now we have Tame sorted out and the quarantine at Red Fountain Square sorted out. I want to go talk to Borg.
Okay. When you guys pass by Red Fountain Square, we're going to pretend this is a couple days later.
Yeah.
You guys will notice that the Garen Thames is open again. People are coming in. There's still the guards. But it's got it has official sponsors of the God Slayers underneath it. So you guys now enjoy the 10% discount from Garen Thames. Still not sure what he's going to do about the name. He probably would ask you guys what you guys think he should do with the name.
What is the current name? Is it just Garen?
Garen Thames.
Okay.
Or sorry,
Grim and Talon.
Grim and Talon.
I said keep the name. Why change it?
He knows. Okay.
Keep us in real life.
Also, he would probably divulge to you guys that Grim and Talon were the nicknames that they had when they were adventuring. So, Gesundheit. So you go on through and you notice there's a lot less people on Anvil Street. But there you are at Rusty Point Forge.
Alright. Our march in. Say, Vorig, are you holding up?
My boy,
It's me, in the flesh.
come over here, son.
Oh,
And he stands up and does the
yeah, we'll hug.
thing, gives you the great big hug, and extends it to the rest of you guys.
I return.
Yeah.
So I heard you got your home all sussied up.
It's coming along just fine.
You want some boys taking a little bit longer time walking around the outside, if you get my drift?
maybe in the future, depending on how many people we piss off.
Okay.
I'm meaning to go and talk to Landless here soon. I know we already had this conversation earlier. Landless doesn't want to be here forever. I know the Legion doesn't want to maintain permanent control over Dathersport, so I'd like to revisit the possibility of finding someone to sponsor for an upcoming election.
He nods. He says, of course there's lots of patsies that I throw up there to get eaten by the wolves, but he says, I'm afraid most of the people I know is going to take a little bit more effort, if you get my drift, to make them presentable.
Yeah.
You sure there's nobody that you guys would rather see on the seat? As long as we still have the sway, I'm okay with it.
I can't think of anyone right off the bat.
What about that gussied up woman that you're always hanging on?
Who is?
He's like sitting there like getting joy out of the fact that you're like, woman.
Which one?
Oh my
Woman.
god.
Which one?
She was in charge of. She's the one who Mickey put his gun up her dress.
Swatha?
Yeah.
You
She's
think
not that
she'd
who
be
you're talking
alright?
about?
I think she's probably easily manipulated. She's shrewd, but her scope is only on what she has a limited scope based only on her skill set.
Yeah.
She'd be pretty easy to maneuver around other than that. She wouldn't appreciate being used either. It wouldn't necessarily be up front, but that's a possibility. Any member of that crew or that group of people certainly would be good for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
They're already part of the upper crust. Again, I do have people we can start elevating.
But it would be easier to get her, like get people following her and such. She's already worked with politics.
Probably.
I
Yeah,
want
probably.
it.
Oh, what about-
I said Harathon wouldn't want it.
She's got enough to deal with the query.
Perhaps we have somebody that's close to her, we can twist her arm.
We might not even need to do that.
I can have a conversation with Swatha about it. See what she thinks.
And if you wanted Harathon, wasn't there a way to twist her arm? Isn't she particularly intimate with you?
I don't know if I like the phrasing of twist her arm.
Just saying, if you gave it to her good enough, she'd probably be jumping at the chance for another bite. If you need some potions to do a better job, or maybe a couple lessons.
Nah, I'm good there.
It's like, but
I look at him as like, she wouldn't want that position.
no matter how many positions you put her into,
Yeah.
okay. I like her. She's tough. She'd be harder to maneuver, but I like her her spirit.
So I take it as we were going on Harathon or Swatha.
Well, I think Swatha is probably the one more open to it, so she's probably the better avenue to go down.
Anyone else that you happen to know that might be a man or woman of the town?
What about Big Sally?
She won't want to leave.
She wouldn't be leaving Dathersport.
Yeah, I don't think she'd want to leave us.
No, she wouldn't want to leave her crew.
She can bring her crew with her.
At least
She
that's-
would be able to work towards getting the gnomes free or better.
That's true.
she seems
That
pretty smart,
politicking
too.
might also get the Legion down on our heads. Not to mention, from what I know of Big Sally, she's educated enough, but anybody else that you have under your thumb? Who else are you all banging?
Don't look at me like that!
What about Alazio?
What about Lazio?
He's known. He knows he's got his hands in.
He knows a lot of people.
It's true.
He knows everything that's going on in this town.
And there's a lot of people who have paid him to get certain goods that may or may not be okay into it. The black market is pretty much flooded with things that he's allowed through here. I personally have paid him quite a bit just for some of his services. He's got dirt on, by that aspect, he's got dirt on other people. Makes him pretty impenetrable. But could we use him too? Not.
But it
Do
would
you
also,
think he would be trustworthy in a position like that?
it also would make him a big target if
Mhm.
he's knows a lot about everything.
You know,
Would you be able to trust someone like that in that position?
well, I know that I can pay him to get certain things done. He's not a bad person, so if it was really irreparable, I'd have to.
Just because you can pay him to do something, does that? I don't think that necessarily means someone else might not pay him to do something to you.
And that's true too. I do know that I've treated him well with the payments.
Mhm.
So have other people though. But that definitely does leave it open that he's not necessarily our man by the aspect of he's not paid for by either us or the Shankill Slaughterers. But still not a bad choice. Proper. Just because he's not on our side doesn't mean that we can't negotiate certain things. It's a powerful ally as long as we could keep him as an ally.
What about someone you know who's not part of the Skull Anvils, but is affiliated enough that putting them in that position would be very beneficial to the Skull Anvils?
Most of the people that I deal with across the whole town that would be beneficial to have in this particular way, they come at a cost too. He's like, I'm pretty sure that you're intimately aware of a certain person on Whore Lane. As I look up the character's name. Sarah, thank you. Yeah.
You knew that one.
Because it's spelled weird.
Sarah could be a really good choice.
Just teasing.
She also knows all the ins and outs
Yeah.
and the dirty bits, but
I just don't feel like I know her well enough.
there's good and bad to it too. Always tend to keep Whore Lane neutral territory.
Yeah.
The only neutral territory in all of Dathersport, to be precise.
Why do you think I was able to have an establishment there?
He says, other than that, I'm trying to think of, let's go down the list of NPCs.
What about me?
Wait, you're serious? You would have to retire, Marzio. You know that, right?
Yes.
He says, well, if you don't mind the fact that there'd be daggers at your back, it actually would work out really well for me.
Like I don't already?
I'm just saying, you might be a changed man once it's said and done, however. You're going to have to do a lot of things, may not necessarily sit well with you, but I know you're my man. I know you'll take good care of us.
I made a lot of decisions lately that I haven't necessarily been the biggest fan of. I'll consider it.
That gets a heavy vote on my end. Like I said, it'll change you.
What just happened?
Some of this, you'd have a lot of daggers at your back.
What is it?
and a lot of things that you might end up having to do might be hard.
You have to retire Marzio.
But I honestly think that is my best choice. I could have no other man that's more loyal.
We spent so much money on Marzio's brew.
Doesn't mean he can't still come around every once in a while.
We're not having a
No,
shrine.
that also means you guys don't get a free pass at the law. Marzio would have to answer to a lot more people, so it wouldn't be go to Marzio, get it solved.
Right.
But that being said,
Here's this here.
Vorg
Is
votes
Leon
for it
much
highly.
different?
Because it does actually, like, in all honesty, that makes the most sense. You're capable enough to keep people from stabbing you in the back.
I'm well known
we have
enough to
stables.
actually do fairly well in a campaign.
He's not worried about you backstabbing him at all, either, which is a big deal. So he would highly support that. So yeah,
It's a possibility.
I'll back whatever horse you want.
Let's do some more groundwork. Let's see what Landless is thinking when he's going to be splitting.
Okay. you guys go to Landless. So he looks very haggard and weathered. Oh, hi.
Are you holding up?
I have to admit, I have never been this tired. My entire life. I don't think I've slept in the past 2 weeks.
Did you get thrown off a building or something? I did.
It doesn't even register with him. Like, he's just...
You should get some sleep sometime soon.
I'm afraid the work of keeping the city together is harder than it is to rush out and engage in a campaign for warfare.
Well, I know you said a long time ago that you didn't plan on staying here forever. The Legion doesn't want to maintain permanent control of Dathersport.
He says, I liked being back and making sure that things in the city went well, and it kept the attention of the Legion away. There is, however, a chance I might have to at least take a small sabbatical. Apparently, I've been spotted on a different continent.
What?
He knows, I know.
That's something. That's new.
And he says, over in the country of Bromcraft, no less. Not a place that I would keep. Unless, of course, I was going to Eterge to give them the sword for the Empire.
Sounds like something you should take care of.
Why are you so anxious for me to leave, Marzian?
I'm not anxious for you to leave. I'm only curious. I mean, things certainly seem to be wrapping up here, and it would certainly be a natural progression to hold an election for a new governor.
He looks up at you like, oh, please, God. Do you have the candidates?
I do not. I'm just going over with you first.
Yes, if we had candidates, then I could certainly back off. We could hold the election, and I could sleep. I would like to sleep, Marzio Defusco.
And
Really
also
badly.
Possibly find out who's stolen your identity somewhere else.
I will ask around.
You have my full support. And, of course, the Empire's thanks, as well as Dathersport's thanks.
It is accepted, and I would have done it again.
He's sleeping in his armor. Like, his armor's sturdy enough to where he's, like, leaned forward
How
and
many
doing
levels of exhaustion does he have right now?
He's at, like, 4 or 5. Like, he's actually doing pretty bad until he wakes up from his nap.
What just happened?
Landless just passed out in his armor. He's
Landis
very
says that
tired.
he has to take a sabbatical to go find out who has stolen his identity over in Bromcraft.
I'm gonna let you know.
Damn it.
Yeah, he is
Now.
dying exhausted. Oh shit, his new second in command. I am missing some notes and it's pissing me off.
I didn't make any of
The
them.
entire Council of Shadows, all the NPCs, lost the page. Don't know where it is.
Customer size?
The Council size, yeah, the lady and the guy that you swore to and all that is just,
I might have a picture of it.
please, if you do, send it to me, because I searched for like a half an hour today on those notes alone and couldn't find them.
I know that they were in your smaller notebook.
Red one? Do you know?
I don't know which color it was. I just know
Okay.
that they were in smaller pieces of paper.
Okay, good. Then I'll check that. Let's see, Gary Herman. I can't believe Herman changed his name for you. Okay, there's the Tabaxi male whore. Unless. Yeah, no, I don't have Asshat's name. There's the gods. And I don't have anything in my current notes regarding that. Currently in Church Dathersport in the martial law. Yeah, I don't have anything on that. Oh, that's good. So anyway, his.
How much is your
Probably send me that too. Griffin, we found Square, or Lane. I hope I'm not getting something wrong. Rick Ridge Coming Gang, Shankill Slaughters, and a bunch of.
Apparently, I just stopped taking notes.
Yeah, we all did because we started streaming and we could just watch the stream over again.
Right, and we get like totally lazy on that. Anyway, so his new second in command walks up and says, "Sorry about that. He has been sleeping pretty poorly lately."
Understandable.
You should make sure he isn't disturbed for several hours, and hopefully that helps. And then just make sure he actually eats.
And then he takes off his armor.
He looks at him in the armor. Yeah, about that. So he says, "Okay, I'll do my best. In the meantime."
At the very least, let him nap for a couple hours and make sure he eats. If you can get him out of his armor, great. But
Wish me all of Lucentarius' luck in that.
Oh, do I have sleep?
So he says,
He's an elf. He's a half elf. He's immune to magical sleep.
so he says,
No. Yeah.
is there anything that the Legion can't take care of for you guys, though, other than what we already have over and over again? I know this is what Landless would want.
I can't think of anything at the moment.
Nods. Ever vigilant.
I appreciate all of the help you've ever given us.
Says, and the Legion appreciates you guys. Wear those medals metaphorically and proud. He'll go back to, like, some of the boys are sitting there, like, one's like, I could put him in a sleeper hold. I'm like, I don't think you could. Like, they're all, like, debating how they're going to get him to bed.
Bet.
Yeah. It's like,
Challenge accepted.
like they're you know, like they're joking with each other and trying to keep each other's wits sharp, which is rare. You guys don't see that from the Legion a lot, but that's a very common thing for them to do.
Morale.
Hmm?
Morale.
Yeah, it's like Post Tadogi from 300. Like, you know, the two that were always joking with each other. That was a thing that they did in their culture to keep their minds sharp, was they were smartasses to each other. Anyway, so they'll exhibit a lot of that too, and you know, they're actually trying to figure this out in a proper way. They also have never seen him fall asleep in his armor like this. They're a little surprised how. Anyway, so
I want to cast Suggestion on Landless.
okay,
And try and
it's mind affecting. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Is it just sleep?
Just
for half
sleep.
elves? Okay.
Elves and half elves
No,
are
I trust
immune to magical sleep.
I
I'm
trust you.
gonna make him go to sleep. Or, force him to go to sleep.
Well, I rolled appropriately.
Oh wait, advantaged against being charmed.
Advantage against being charmed, and this is enchantment. So that should be it.
I believe that's a charm spell.
So you pull out your snake's tongue and honeycomb or a drop of sweet oil.
I would imagine that I have most of the
Mhm.
stuff.
Oh yeah, it's just
Charm person is an enchantment. So.
when there's not money involved, you're assumed to have it in a spell component pouch. But to keep it flavorful, please do describe. So you pull out the snake's tongue and either or. So with advantage, he still fails it. So a sentence or two.
Okay. I'm going to suggest to Landless to allow his assistants to remove his armor and suggest to him that it is very important for him to go to bed and not wake up for at least 8 hours.
That's two sentences. So he'll like kind of like as he's sitting there sleeping, they're like, sir, you need to go to bed. Yes, I do. For the Legion. This way, sir. Yes. And he'll start to walk and he'll sleepwalk and follow the guy. It's kind of eerie. Dular just looks over at you. Looks over at her and inches to the other side of your shoulder.
She'll just pat him gently. Wizards are strange creatures.
Yeah, his hackles, like how a cat gets the hair raised, all of his scales are like.
After I do that, I'm gonna cast like prestidigitation and create some fancy lights for him to like play with.
He will. Get inspiration.
Like a fucking laser pointer.
Yeah, his eyes dilate a whole bunch and tries to eat it. Gets pissed he can't eat it.
We're gonna go talk to Schwatha.
Okay. So let's see. I'll prepare for Schwatha as well as something else. What's our time frame, guys?
I don't work tomorrow, so it doesn't matter to me.
Do
I
I
mean,
work tomorrow?
No, I think you're off tomorrow. You're supposed to have a meeting with Talia and Zach tomorrow, but you're not gonna be there.
Well, I'm
Apparently-
supposed to have a meeting?
Apparently, a rumor has it that Zach's coming to town to have a meeting with you and Talia.
Wow.
Oh.
Really? Yeah, you're off tomorrow. Amanda has early access, though.
Yeah, it's
Would you
okay.
do me a favor and send that?
Well, Ron sent it in group chat.
I know, I can't find it for some reason. So,
I
I
figure we
can
can
send
go
it to
until
Amanda.
11.
I'm okay.
I'll be good until 11.
you'll be good? Alright.
I work at 6, but yeah.
Wait.
Schmook.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke for sure. Huh? Dr. Oliva, raccoons.
What?
It's so I don't like a lot of Simpsons episodes or anything, but one of my favorites is when the Germans come in, they're going to purchase a power plant, and they're evaluating if the power plant's worth it, and they go over and in the middle of like this nuclear power plant and some very important like controls, they open it up and there's a set of raccoons chewing on the wires. Like every now and then there's a funny Simpsons joke, and that one always got me. It's just like, can you, because you know it's like a fucking nuclear power plant, like it's a
Right.
big deal. So we live yet?
Yeah, we
Oh,
have been for the
sorry.
whole raccoon story.
I'll be on YouTube later. All right. So yeah, Landless goes to bed. He follows your suggestion wholeheartedly. You hear the clanging of armor eventually.
And I'll be like,
So you guys leave that. What else do you guys want to take care
We're
of?
gonna go talk to Schwatha.
Okay. She is currently in her own personal home. The servants will answer the door. Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Marzio. Defusco, in case you didn't know. I was wondering if I could speak with Schwatha.
The stables are out back. Enjoy mucking them up. And he goes to close the door.
No. Excuse me.
Mhm.
May I speak with Schwatha, please?
He'll turn and he walks on over to a gnome, and the gnome perks up. He's talking to the gnome a little bit. He's speaking gnomish.
I didn't know they had their own language.
And then he like hits the gnome on the shoulder and snaps, and there you go. Please, you and your merry band and your pet, if you'll leave your pet outside, please.
Godslayers.
That registers with him. It clicks in a weird way. Like you see him like, please, forgive me. Please enter.
and did you just call Zolaria our pet?
No.
No, I
pointed
called
at me.
both of them.
Rude.
You're a cat.
True, but rude.
I just stare him down.
He looks. Give me an intimidation check, and you may use your strength instead of your. Will the light supposed to turn off?
Yes.
Okay. Give me use strength as your base stat for it.
Zolaria will glare at him as she walks by.
Make
or
an
give him
intimidation
a
check.
dirty look or whatever.
And use my strength instead of my.
Strength instead of.
It's a
She
nat
got a
one.
nat 1. She's staring at him. A bug flies in her eye. No.
I just picture the cat from the meme. To you, to other cats, that is a fearsome face. However, he looks and he just kind of
26.
26. He's visibly shaken. He actually steps back from you and will not approach you. As you guys come in, a small box of sand is set next to you. And you are
She
You're-
takes Dular and puts him in the sand and then takes a gold coin.
he gets so excited. He plays around in it. And takes what?
And takes a gold coin and like sticks it way in the dirt so he can. And she's just like,
He'll bury himself into the sand like the spider that does like that. He'll bury himself into the sand with like the gold piece in his mouth, in his eyes, and he'll.
Well, at least we know when he likes to sleep.
As the scales start turning blue.
You get a small box placed in front of you. It has several holes of different shapes. And inside the box, there is a whole bunch of small blocks of shapes.
Oh! Are they
I
gonna...
look at Marzio, and I'm like, do we need to be here? Because I pick this box up.
One.
Sure. I'll
Of
throw it in
course.
his face.
Well,
That was very
I've
rude.
never.
How dare you insult the intelligence of my friends?
I was taking care of your.
They are not my pets. They're our friends, and they're very intelligent. Probably more intelligent than you are.
And I look at me. Look at me. I take all the shapes, drop them in the holes they're supposed to go in, flip the box upside down, and throw it back in. And then as he maybe catches the box, I don't know.
No, it'll clang as knocks over the other wine, just spills down his front.
Now, we would like to talk to Shwata.
She's being prepared. You, sir, are allowed to enter alone at this moment. Please.
Alright.
This way. And he'll make a comment, and one of the gnomes will start to cast prestidigitation and clean him up. It even takes his like skullet, and he has his skullet like done in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Takes it, and it'll like start to reweave and do that. When you enter the main like chamber, it goes out into a greenhouse and beautiful flowers. She's wearing evening wear. Very revealing, like a silk, very close against the skin. And she'll be picking flowers before she'll go behind a thing and start dressing. It's the classic, I'm being modest, but I'm changing with a blind right there that you can see through anyway. Like it's classic bullshit that royalty does.
I'll sit on an ottoman or something. I assume she would have an ottoman.
Yeah.
I'll sit. And be like, Shwata, it's been some time.
And she says, Marzio, you're too much.
I would have sent a messenger, but a woman of your
Not there.
status definitely deserved a personal visit.
She says, and I do appreciate personal visits from the great Marzio de Fusco, as she places her garter belt on.
I do actually come on business, however.
Oh, business and not pleasure, Marzio.
Very light.
You never come for pleasure, you
Maybe we
only
should
come
just
for
leave him
business.
here.
I would love to come for pleasure more often.
She comes out in
Unfortunately,
a green gown.
business is booming as always.
And she goes and she picks up a thing of wine that she's been drinking on and goes over to a statue and places it on the statue, and the statue will, and then wine mixed with water will pour out of it. It's an old thing Roman's had, actually, in real life. She'll take it back and she'll pour one for you and hand it to you.
Oh, yeah.
She says, and business has been very good. Thank you very much, by the way. It's been very profitable. The sections that we've gained back and the tithing that they paid henceforth have made me very rich this quarter, to say the least. And it's all thanks to you, Marzio.
You're too kind. You pay me too much credit. As I'm sure you know, Landless is getting pretty ragged. I know it's not the intention of the Legion to stay here forever. So I'm sure soon we'll need to hold a campaign for a new governor.
She's walking to them as you're talking. She says, oh, and who would the candidates be?
Well, I was considering you might be interested.
An interesting choice. What makes you think this, Marzio de Fusco? And she goes over and she goes, oh, Zalaria! Oh, Zalaria, it's so wonderful to see you, dear. She walks over and
She'll smile
She
and greet her
curtsies.
and everything.
and she does the hug, the girl hug.
Yeah.
And she goes, Bartholomew, the Great. And she sees the blocks on the ground. She sees the box.
With Dular in it.
Does she see the mess of wine on the floor?
She immediately looks over, and you see the butler just... and he turns around and walks out slowly.
And I'm going to say, where are you going now?
Haley, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm afraid that your business has done some great work for some of my people. I've heard such great things.
Well, hopefully business remains booming.
Of course. Isn't that what we all want?
I give her kind of a smirk. Like, yeah,
And now, part of the God Slayers, no less.
apparently.
Watch out, though. Certain things come at a cost, I've heard. Being around the Great Marzio Diffusco 24/7, you may fall in love.
Unlikely, but who knows?
She smiles real big. So, why have you all considered me of all people?
Well, you were already you've already worked fairly closely with Clemens. You're already pretty deep in that scene. I imagine you already know a lot of the ins and outs of that position.
I'm learned. I've been very well schooled.
You're certainly wealthy enough to run a campaign.
Especially lately, given the gifts that you've given me. Which brings me to think that this comes with a string attached. You're not afraid of commitment, are you, Marzio Diffusco?
Me? No.
Because I am not afraid of commitment.
That was never in doubt.
So, speaking plainly, what is it you wanted me to nominate me?
As I'm sure you may know, I'm fairly close friends with Vorik the blacksmith.
I hadn't noticed.
We are looking for someone we can trust.
Oh, she'll take another sip and she starts looking at some of the art in her house. Okay, so trust is it?
Someone who's not going to stab Vorik in the back.
Protection for him and his gang, and his affiliates.
Essentially.
Since we are speaking plain still, and she'll turn back around to see you guys again, we all know that the gangs are the true power here in Dathersport. With that being the case, I can only imagine that a governor is a puppet, a very well paid puppet, a liaison to go between the Legion and the gangs.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Puppet makes it sound like a subservient role. I would prefer to think of it more as a partnership.
Make me a diplomacy check. Persuasion. God damn it. Fucking fuckcock.
Your system, who did?
I'm just gonna print out a character sheet. Like, I always have this
Use
trouble.
inspiration. Cock dice.
I would have taken it.
It was a 10 both ways, so 22.
Holy crap!
Yes,
It could have been a 32
My persuasion
though, if
is
you didn't
plus 12.
It could have been a 32 if you took the natural 20.
It was a cock
Damn.
dice.
That's what my athletics.
So what was your grand total?
22.
A 22? Okay, with a 22, she... Okay, partnership. I like that. And that has been very profitable lately, partnerships. Governess Schwaffer. I do like the sound of that.
Yes, do.
Okay. I'll accept your all's proposal. There may be some things I need from you, of course, but
Like what?
can't think of any at the moment, but I imagine you'll be the ones that benefit the greatest from this in one way, shape, or form. And we'll find a way to make sure that it's a two-way partnership.
Of course.
Tell Vorig that I would like to meet with him. And Grindelwald as well.
Very well. Is there a particular place you would like to meet?
We'll have our go-tos discuss it. We'll find a nice safe spot. Maybe even that wonderful house of yours that you just got.
That's possible.
You could give her a tour of your new room.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That
So,
sounds very wonderful.
Haley hasn't really interacted with Shwaka enough.
No, she just met. She just
doesn't
met
really-
you.
Yeah, she doesn't really trust her very much. I'd like to do an insight.
Please do.
22.
This woman is lying through her teeth in one aspect. She is not dumb. She's pretending to be dumb. She's pretending to be flighty, but she's anything but. This is probably one of the most shrewd business people you've ever met, just based on a few key words that have been chosen and a difference in demeanor altogether once it got down to brass tacks.
Mhm.
Again, she sounds dumb, she looks flighty, she looks like a tart. Like, not like sexually, more like
Yeah.
like she's dressed and
I just
sussied up.
imagine Legally Blonde.
Yeah, but what she's firing with is deadly.
Mhm.
So that's what you get from her.
Do I get a sense that I should trust her, or do I feel like she's probably gonna turn on us?
It's probably more the aspect to where loyalty pays for more. There's a reason to keep people loyal. There's much more benefit from it. But if you were to become a problem in any way, shape, or form, like if you guys started selling her reputation, if it turned, she would sell you out, yes. As long as you didn't give her a reason to do that, and you didn't backstab her, or you didn't get in between something that she really wanted, you'd be fine.
Okay.
But if you found yourself on the other side of the tracks, she would turn, and it would be fast and ruthless.
I'm gonna keep all this information to myself.
Gotcha. So, Vorg is very much gives you the same kind of feel. There's that whole, if you're with me, and we do certain things, we're cool.
I mean, you don't become a leader of a gang like that
I just
unless you
wanted to
have
make
that
sure
mentality.
She
Right.
wasn't gonna try
Wanna
and
know
send
how
us
I
on
live
some
all
kind
these
of
long
like a
years?
adventure to get rid of us.
Right.
When the whole you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of thing.
No, it feels more like the whole as long as you guys that you guys are mutually beneficial and have business relationship trust so far. And she's definitely obviously interested in Marzu to some degree on a more personal level, but getting that aspect that she's out for
She's up playing it.
she wants to get the most for her, for sure, and her wants and her goals, and she's selfish in that aspect, but loyalty is worth it, both to give and to have. So she won't betray you for no reason.
I follow.
Gotcha. Okay, and yeah, she's definitely pretending to be dumb. It is definitely not. So. Well, I'm a little surprised that the great did I already say this? The great Marzio de Fusco didn't throw his lovely hat in the ring.
Thinking about it a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't want to go against you. If we went, certainly I could be like a second in command or a confidant.
Well, maybe it could work either way. Maybe we both run, and whoever wins, we both win.
No, I wouldn't want to go against you. It'd be, for one, a waste of money in the interest of both of us.
I don't know about that. You're better at some things than I am. You certainly have more connections, more money.
Well, but all the people of all Dathersport love the great Marzio de Fusco, of the Godslayers and of Shot in the Dark.
No.
So if you were to run, I definitely think that it would make more sense for us to use the money to aid you as opposed to you versus me, and then we're just throwing away money at that point because we're both on the same side.
Of course.
It's just wasted money, love.
I don't disagree with you on any of the points. We're still also just talking about it right now.
Who would you all vote for? This is a silly little thing, isn't it? But if we were to vote right now, honest opinion, no feelings hurt, who would you want?
You.
I'd vote for him.
Why would you vote for him?
Have you seen that facial hair? Those lovely locks, those beautiful eyes.
So you vote for him for a pretty Picture
A pretty face?
a pretty face on the stand.
I've
Oh,
seen
of-
far prettier.
Of course. Also a blatant lie.
Hilarious.
Like, you know, it's
Oh,
she's
no.
again, she's trying to be dumb. Or trying to make you think she's dumb. Who would you vote for? Oh, and you.
I'd vote for you.
Looks like I'm winning the election so far. She'll touch you and get real close and giggle. Sebastian, take care of those dogs right this instant! There's no one named Sebastian. Shut up! You are now. And who would you vote for?
I'm new to the party here, and I would have to say that I don't have enough information on either party to make a sound opinion at the moment.
Well, this silly little vote, of course, doesn't mean anything. I think you'd win in a landslide.
I'm not as confident.
For once.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that Vorik will back whichever one of us we deem to run. And we will all back that person as well.
Of course.
We're all in the same boat that we'll at least stack the deck together. Is it agreed?
That's the plan.
And whoever you all decide, whoever Vorig and all of us decide needs to be the best candidate, then we'll all at least be on the same team. A great business arrangement.
You'll receive word from Ford as soon as I speak with him.
Well, is there anything else that we can attend to?
That's all I had. As soon as our fortress, Hall of Justice,
The Bat Cave.
is completed, I'll have to give you a tour.
It would be lovely. And she'll offer her hand for you to kiss.
Dogs of Zand.
And she'll, of course, it was lovely to meet you.
I believe in Carrie.
It's great to see such strong women in this world that are far tougher than I could ever be.
Gotta try and do what I can to make this place a better place.
I've heard your intelligence is legendary too. And she smiles at you real big, a genuine smile. Turtholomil the Great.
I kiss her hand for her.
She'll curtsy to you, and then Celeria, a deer, she'll
Hug and all that
kiss
other fun
kiss
stuff.
and yeah. And then she'll go back to her.
Before
Garden.
she walks away,
Before she walks away. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I want to kind of whisper to her as she's like walking past. You might want to check your servants and tell them not to be so judgmental on people.
How did he behave?
He threw a toy in front of Bartholomew, assuming that he needed something to occupy his time. And a litter box.
This is Zach smiling, not her. This is Zach grinning.
and a litter box next to Zolaria here. And called them pets.
Mine was I was gonna get the block, pick the blocks up and give them to her, and they're like, "Your servant needs these."
How often she sends the servants away? On a scale of 1 to appalled, I first off want to apologize for them. But give me a gauge, please.
Appalled would probably say it. I've never been
I
treated
don't
like
blame
that
you.
before.
I am so sorry.
Granted, I've always come as merchants to royalties' houses, but that was something I've never encountered.
I had a feeling, and I am terribly sorry. Please understand it will be taken care of.
Of course.
I'm so sorry.
I hand her the blocks though. You might need these bags. You need these bags.
Where did he even get these? Okay.
You should ask.
She's
him.
just-
Or have him in his room.
She says thank you.
I do what I can to stick up for my friends.
I'm sorry that it was in my household. This will be tended to. Until we meet again, Arzu Fusca. And she'll go back to her garden.
Zalaria's gonna pick up the box of sand with Dular in it and take it with her.
He's still sleeping.
Exactly.
He's happy in that box.
She knows not to wake him up.
So when we're home, we know where he's going to be at.
Yeah, no,
He's
she
going to be in the training room in the sand.
well, she's gonna take that box of sand and put it in her room. She's also going to make sure he has essentially she's gonna build him a mini castle so he can put,
Oh my god, yes!
so he can put all of his loot in there so it's not in her backpack.
Because it's gonna start getting heavy
Exactly.
after a while. That's for sure.
He can have his own board.
Exactly.
He does have his own hoard.
Yeah, it's
She's
just in
keeping
my
track of
bag.
it for me.
It's only a couple pieces of gold and platinum at the moment, though.
Does he have a platinum piece?
I think so.
He's big ballin'. For a pseudo dragon, that's pretty good so far. I demand 10% of the cuts. So throughout the course of the weeks and everything else, if you'll go ahead and give me another intelligence check.
And we do need to go get Russell's stuff.
You want to do that next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
hold on. I have written down Alexios. It just says in charge with Landless. In quotes, dead. Is that his second in command?
That was his second in command. He killed himself to heal him.
That's
If I remember correctly.
he's on the dead sheet. That's why.
It is 15.
So I wouldn't have checked the dead sheet. 15?
Yeah.
You're getting a little bit of a handle on it, but it's still not there just yet.
Oh, on the books, gotcha.
So Dular's hoard is currently 1 platinum, 2 gold pieces, and 2 copper pieces. Of course, he did pick up half of a wand in
A broken gem.
and a broken gem, so I guess I need to write that down. I need a pencil though.
Okay. So,
Yep, let's go to lot 666 and get Rufus's shit.
okay. So all the bank tellers are like the old, almost like, they have the visors, the green visors, and they have the shirts with the ties to keep their sleeves up. So when you guys go in, you have to go through a little bit of security. And you get there, and what it looks like is it's a giant safe with the door open. And, it's got the little guards and then, the little teller kind of thing. Next up in line, get on moving.
Give him the key.
Gets the key.
Yep.
I take it that you want everything out of here?
Yep.
Everything taken out?
All of
Full
it.
withdrawal?
All of
Okay,
it.
I'm going to need you to sign this paper, and this paper. Sign here, here, and here. And let's see, he says lot number 666 owner is
Oh, you
undefined
have it.
holder of key. So congratulations.
Because
I guess I could keep tracking his numbers.
It'll be out in just 1 minute. And he goes and pushes a cart in the back. He comes back with all the shit.
All
And
the shit.
yeah, and then there's a security guard that will open up the door and he'll come out of the cart, close, and then he comes out of the second thing, brings it on over.
Take it all, shove it in the bag holding.
Yep.
So then we can go through it
Yeah.
back at compound.
Awesome. All
We need
right.
a name for it, an official name for it.
Yeah,
Hall
we
of
do.
Justice.
I think we've already deemed it that.
I felt like that was just that specific room. I think the entire building needs a different name.
Could call it our compound, and then the Hall of Justice is inside the compound.
Compound where we drink Kool-Aid. Only wear sweatpants and comfy shoes.
Let's discuss it with the other 2 party members as
Yeah.
well, and then we can.
Brilliant. So yeah, they give you the gold pieces, the platinum pieces, the 10 diamonds, the 10 rubies, the potions, all the magical shit.
Yep. We'll go through it here in a bit.
The folding boat is one of my favorites, for the record.
folding boat.
Well, it's extremely heavy and you're the mule, so it's only fitting that it goes with you.
But it's a folding boat. They have a picture of it in the DMG and everything. It folds out and how it folds.
Yeah, we had a folding boat, and he used it to save my life when I was playing
Valerie.
Huh.
Useful.
It was in his.
My robe.
Oh no, that wasn't a folding
Oh,
boat.
No, that
it
was a
collapsible
rowboat.
boat.
Yeah, that was just a
No, that was a
Patch.
rowboat.
yeah. No, it's like a backpack thing, and you actually unfold it and then put wires. It's like building a tent. It's pretty cool. Anyway, shouldn't even really be a magic item.
Alright, so we got our shit. I figure we can pay off Big Sally with all of this money as well. Pay for the whole thing, whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah,
Don't
that's-
have to worry about it anymore.
Excellent. And then
Who's listening?
we'll remove it from that, and then we'll, like I said, then at the end when they're all paid for and everything, all the girls are free. That's part of where that went. Okay.
I can't think of anything else right now.
This is just something that Zaleria would have wanted done at some point. The little headpiece that she got from her secret admirer, she will want to figure out what's going on with that.
I cast Identify and Detect Magic.
We probably did that at the same time she figured out the ring,
Okay.
but I didn't want to interrupt what you were doing.
It's a parapet of health, I believe. So
You would have been okay with that.
yeah, it's basically when you drop to 0. We can look it up.
I can just add it to my inventory and look at it from there.
It's perfect wound closure.
Wound closure. Sorry. So, parapet of wound closure. I don't know how to spell parapet. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Well, but safe perfect.
Just wound closure.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. She's going to be very curious about who sent it to her, though. She'll probably ask Alazio first, and then just be like, I don't know.
Who
He's
was
like,
it that-
he looks real sad. He's like, my love, I did not give this for you.
Who was it that delivered it? Was it
I think it was Gary.
was it Gary or was
It
it
was at a moment where we had like 5 runners come up to us.
it was the same time that we got the letter for Valerie.
Mhm.
It was from Herman.
It was from Herman.
So we need to track down Herman and find out.
She does still have the note that came with it too. Although I don't think she's just like, I don't know if you can figure out handwriting. I don't know. She'll just give
I guess
it
I
to
could
you.
do an investigation check on the note.
You are a detective.
That's why she's gonna give it to you. She's like, this is your job.
This is your job?
Your first job from us.
This is what you do for a living. I guess that's more of what she was trying to say.
I only got a 13.
It was written with the left hand to obfuscate the handwriting. That part is the only thing that's apparent to you. Still pretty good handwriting for being left-handed, though. That's something commendable. What y'all doing? You gonna call Herman?
I mean, would he?
Sure.
Would he remember? I guess we can figure out if he'll remember.
I got a 4 on my investigation check. Like, that is handwriting.
Fancy left-handed handwriting.
Fancy left-handed handwriting, huh?
Oh my god. It was a far run. I was 2 towns over.
Oh my goodness!
I heard you guys wanted to see me, though.
Yeah.
Thud.
She'll like get him propped up and get him some water and some food.
Saleria of the Godslayers touched me.
She's just gonna shake her head and like take care of him.
Using your amazing healing powers.
Yes. She'll just pat his head and be like, "Here, drink some water." Oh no. She'll like start laughing at one point. She's just like,
I would imagine when he goes to drink it, he would like miss his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, just pour it down his shirt.
Well, like I did. Yeah, that was acting at his best.
Well, she's kind of like having this interaction with the runner. I'm gonna be like, take the letter from Marzio and hand it over to him and be like,
Hi.
do you recognize
You're the
this?
new member, I've heard. I went by your old place to see like where you worked. It's amazing.
It was a shithole. What are you talking about?
No, because you were there. You're good enough for the Godslayers. You're good enough for me.
I need you to focus on this for a second.
He does. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna cast suggestion on him,
Okay.
and I'm going to.
He voluntarily fails.
I would like to know as much as you can tell us about where this letter and the package that you delivered.
Zalaria will pull out the box that the crown was in and just be like, this is what came with it.
Well, it wasn't really hidden from me who sent it. I feel like I'm betraying a friend, though. But I'll tell you. If that's what you want.
1047?
I wouldn't want you to betray one of your friends.
I would hate to do that, but I will. I mean, technically that's what you cast a suggestion, right? So, like, he has to. So he says, so, I'm really sorry, Marzio, but I have to tell them it was you.
And Zalaria's gonna, like, just total and complete disbelief. And it'll take her a minute to kind of compose herself, and she'll be like, why?
Because I destroyed your other one.
But my other one wasn't as good as this. Like, I don't even know what the other one did.
It did the exact same thing.
Okay.
And also had the demon, so side note.
But she didn't know that. She didn't know there was a demon inside of it.
Just say.
She'll actually kind of, like, get a little emotional, and then she'll be like, thank you.
I figured it was the right thing to do.
I appreciate it. It doesn't bring him back, but as always, I'll get past it.
I give him a gold coin and say thank you.
Okay. You can tell I have to get paid for my job, but man, you guys are the best. He also asked you to sign his copy of the dime novel. I'm so happy I was here to be a part of official business. You guys are so kind to each other. The girls start dragging him out. Where are we going?
Kind to each other. I'm like,
Zalaria will have also signed his thing.
No, you already
He
did.
already did. That's right.
I mean, he will accept another signature.
No, it's fine.
But, you know,
he's
it's...
gonna lift his shirt up and have you sign his ribcage.
Yeah, like, anything's fine.
No, it's I wasn't
Don't
sure if it
sign
was
it. Sign it
different
with
from
your
last
claw.
time.
Just-
Oh
Permanent.
Says, yeah, ink that out. So, as you
Some
leave, you
scarification.
guys notice that Gary's running from another mission to another mission. He stops, he looks at Gary. Gary looks at him. He looks at Gary. Gary growls, he growls. They both walk around each other and then part ways. They do not like each other at all.
They're like
Rivals.
They are!
asserting their
They're-
dominance on who gets to deliver messages to us.
Literally, Fanboy and the doggo are fighting for your attention.
And take the dog 100% of the
Yes!
time.
I know, and that's why, Herman changed his fucking name for you. That's all he ever did. You know? Gary has just looked fluffy.
He's an adorable Fluffy, though. He's a big giant St. Bernard with the squishy face.
Yeah. He probably has another 9 years left in him, and then you'll be crawling back to Herman.
Nah, we'll just find another dog.
We will resurrect Gary.
Boric,
We will use the
give me the Phoenix
Give
Stone.
me the Phoenix Stone.
Doesn't work against old age. Never has. Resurrection can't resurrect people past their
Okay,
lifespan.
but can you make a pet
Lich dog.
celestial?
Reincarnation.
Lich dog.
Gary the Lich.
His puppies.
Ruff, ruff, ruff. Just
I mean, you have to
echoes in a
breed him
demonic
and
voice.
Get more puppies.
Up to y'all.
Holy St. Bernards.
Find
are
some
in
of
your-
that Ziva blood somewhere.
They all have little messages. Little message containers. So
I
anyway.
have a whole army of them.
Yeah, that Ziva blood. That's right. Alright. What else you guys doing?
I don't think we have anything else to do except maybe track down other potential candidates, but I'm not entirely sure who.
I mean, you guys know who's who in town. I can go through a list of the NPCs if you want, but the ones you guys have seen all the best candidates.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get like Rickett and like little minor NPCs that like are
I
there.
think Alazio is the only other one I would consider.
But Zoe was going to say, I can talk to Elazio if you guys want me to.
I'd suggest it to him. See what he thinks.
It would allow us
Oh,
to have
Alexios.
an interaction with him. Huh?
Oh, I did find Alexios finally.
I
I didn't have that he was dead though.
just wrote dead in quotation marks. I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Well, he sacrificed himself to heal Landless.
I don't think it was Landless. I think it was Axion that sacrificed himself to save Clemens.
That happened, but I'm pretty sure that Alexios did do something to help out Landless. I haven't listened to the video you just put up, and it'll be on that one. So
No, the video that she just put up was an incorrect video. It
Oh,
only,
yeah.
It only
Yeah.
spliced like 4 minutes.
It's a new video editing program. I haven't learned everything yet. So when I exported it, yeah,
well,
and then I
or it
uploaded
might be
it.
the one before that.
It
I'll
was-
have to double check that.
I'm hoping it's done processing by the
before
time
the
I
battle.
get home.
Okay.
Okay, then it might be on the one that's.
It should already be on YouTube then.
I'll do some backtracking to find. But anyway, as a side note, so you guys were talking about maybe Alazio being the mayor.
We can go talk to Alazio then. Excuse me, sorry.
My love.
Oh come on! He finds the furry, the cat person attractive, so of course he probably finds the.
When she French kisses, it's the sandpaper tongue that gets him.
Ew.
Yeah, that's D&D. It's weird sometimes. They have quick creep and apparently real life furry shit. All right, so he goes, Zalaria, my love, Alazio has missed you.
She'll go hug him and
He
kiss him
gives you
and-
the big hug and the big kiss, and he holds your hand.
Um,
You come to see me at work.
Yeah, do you have a couple minutes that we could talk?
For you, anything. Alazio will always make time for you, my love. And then walks over, and there's a little table that's set up with some wine and everything else, and he'll sit down, and, it's like a little siesta spot. And gets all the chairs and turns over some barrels, and he'll sit on a barrel. He looks at you all.
So, Landless and the Legion are looking to leave at some point, and that means there'll be elections for a new governor soon, and we're curious to see if you'd want to be a candidate.
He doesn't fall out of his chair, but he is greatly surprised. He stumbles on it, and
Spills his wine.
yeah, Alazio hasn't thought about it wholeheartedly. It's a lot of responsibility.
Though you can handle a lot of responsibility. You've done an amazing job handling all of the docks.
Bolsters him a bit, and he smiles.
There aren't many who can keep track of products like that very well.
Alazio is good with numbers and bookkeeping.
You also know a lot of people.
But yeah, you know a lot of people.
He thinks about it for a second. Alazio will accept if that's requested.
It's not per se a request. I want to know what you want to do.
If you would be interested in taking such a position.
Alazio hasn't thought about it. Maybe some time to think.
That's fine. Because I do want this to be your decision, not influenced by any of us.
And I joke with him, be like, I need it now.
Would this wouldn't by any chance put your life in danger?
No.
Okay. He seems a lot more relieved now. He says, Alazio will think about it.
All we're doing is looking for candidates right now. So if you're not interested, that's fine.
He nods. But we'll think about it. And then he gets a big smile and goes over, and you see that he says, open up this crate. And they open it up. And he shakes his head. This wine is not legal to be brought in here. Confiscated. And the cheese and those crackers. And bring it over to my table to inspect it further. Then he'll come on over and sit down and crack into them with you guys and eat and just chill and talk with you guys about other things. As you see, it seems to weigh on him slightly, that whole responsibility kind of thing, but he probably would be a good candidate. And he's not stupid, so he would see the benefits therein. And he knows how to walk a gray line. which is definitely needed for Death's Board. So he can see all that. So you got your candidates lined up.
Well, 2. I'm sure others.
Well,
would.
3, including you, is a potential.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the ones we've talked to, including myself, like, that's not going to be all of the candidates. I'm sure other NPCs would come out of the woodworks to run for office.
Well, there's definitely like bad or people that you
Yeah.
don't want that will come
Of
at
course,
you, but yeah, you're not going to hunt them down. So,
No.
so I guess probably the best way to end the session would be. Wow, we didn't even blow through some of the usual downtime stuff. Like nobody went on a bender.
Well, Mickey did.
Yeah, but he's not here, so I can't roll. There's a chart. You can end up in jail. You can end up castrated. There's a lot of other shit. I'm not gonna make him roll on that because he may not have done that. But yeah, no, that's kind of funny because they have a whole bunch of rules for it, and like you guys went into nothing that requires any of those rules whatsoever. You guys were like hands on about everything in particular, so it's been a really great downtime session.
Shit to get done.
Feel free out of character to take all the shit that you guys have that you're willing to sell. You guys get half for it. You know, the art pieces, gems, you get full price for. So anything you're going to sell that's gems, full price for. Magic items, there is rules for getting less for it or more for it potentially, but you guys, if you're going to sell them, just sell
Break
them.
even? Break even? Or?
Yeah, they sell for, like, you can text me and then we'll do it that way, probably is the best way for magic items. But all the shit that you guys have that you haven't sold off for normal gold, if you want to, like you guys still have the porcelain horse. Unless you guys are keeping those things as special facets to add to your house, sell them and sell them for half.
anything of what he had in the house.
Well, like you remember when you
And the
got the
manor.
froghemus, there was the mirror, gold and silver gilding, the horseshoe, those kind of things, the ivory comb. So unless you guys are keeping that stuff, you feel free and sell it, out of game, and sell it for half. Gemstones you get full price for. If you're keeping any of the gemstones for spell components or anything else, please do. That's awesome. That's always important. You never know when it'll come in handy.
That would have been 37,100.
Yeah, we didn't do the
Do you have a
notes
set
anymore.
price on like just replenishing spell components or?
Yeah, you pay the price for a spell component pouch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not that expensive, and that I will consider that replenishment.
I definitely want that.
You also might want to take your healer's kit because you're down on charges by, I think, you got 3 left in it, I think.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track.
Okay, well, I have, and you have 3 left. Because once, every time you stabilize a person,
That's a charge.
it's a charge. You get 10 charges in it. So definitely refill all that. You guys also should, since the month's over, whatever your living style has been, go ahead and pay that, or pay what you're going to pay for the next month. Take that out of your gold altogether, so we don't have to worry about the next month. And your paid expenses.
3,100. It's 10 or 100 gold pieces to buy.
I gotta look at the fucking conversion right now because it's different in this than it was in Pathfinder.
It's right here. It's platinum is 10 gold pieces.
So feel free and do all the little bookworking things. There's also retraining. If you guys have a feat or something you want to swap out, you guys are okay to retrain, and this will consist of the time, this month of downtime necessary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So feel free and do all that.
Retraining.
Yeah, like let's say you picked a feat and you're really not actually a big fan of it.
Mhm.
As long you can get rid of it and obtain a new one, as long as it wasn't something that you had as a prereq in order to get something else.
Okay.
So like if you to become a swashbuckler had to have, I don't know, something else, then you can't get rid of it because if you get rid of it, then you couldn't multi-class into it. But if you can switch it out clean, you can switch it out clean. If you want to do levels, that's possible, but only 1 level for the month. So if you wanted to really deep dive, then you got to take a lot more downtime, which maybe will happen. But retraining, there are things that, sometimes we make mistakes on our character, and I'm not holding people to that always. So retraining is a thing.
All of the animal shit.
Where'd your book go? She has it.
I flipped away from the page. I'm sorry.
I'll find it. Which way did it go?
It should go.
Also, as a mental note, Haley's a wizard also. So any of those spells, you can copy down in your spell book, but it will destroy the scroll.
1,000
So just so you know.
1,000 per day or per
a
month?
month. Right.
For what?
The frog he missed.
So far, until he gets bigger, because that was 10 gold a day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 10 gold. Sorry, I misread that then.
Yeah, it's
10 gold a
10.
day,
So that'd be
300 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting pricey the bigger he's getting.
He's producing eggs though?
No,
Like
no, he's not. He hasn't
anything?
matured yet. No, he's just costing you money right now.
We got a frog he missed on our side.
So far,
Well, that means we have to train him.
Mickey's gonna have to start training him, or else he's gonna get out of hand.
Can I? I mean, I got handle animal,
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you most certainly may.
so I would
Just
like to
the-
be doing that as well
the
too.
gold
So
pieces,
Okay.
I'm not doing
So-
anything with
It's
the
easy, train 'em at a young-
gemstones.
4 rolls 1 week. What?
I said with just the gold pieces, the coin that was in
I'll just do this.
Rook's thing,
Reficel's.
Reficel's thing. We have 31,194
Left over.
gold pieces left over after paying for the house and after paying for the month worth of
Yeah.
services.
Nice. Yeah, that's one thing about the season ending is when you roll on the treasure chart, you're supposed to do it twice
Oh, I
for
only said
really,
3.
really big deals, and that doubles the gold. And that's, I mean, that was a tough fight. I should have been tougher with my dice rolls, but I mean, I stacked the deck against you guys heavily, so
See what I rolled, right?
it was good. And you guys still had enough to pay into a keep, which is really cool. Like, I'm excited about like us detailing that out a little bit more. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet to make it to where it doesn't take up a ton more time. Certainly, if someone wants to volunteer and do it out
What,
of game,
to the compound?
the Heaven's Gate cult, yes. You guys,
Manor.
yeah.
To be a manor.
Anybody who wants to detail it out, you guys can
Of
certainly
justice.
take this off my hands. I will be more than happy to give it up.
We'll see how I feel this week, but I will gladly build it in Sims, and we can all just hop on stream together, and people can design their rooms as we go along.
As you all wish. It's however we want to go about it. I'll just need you to either give me that or take a picture of it for me.
I can take screenshots and print them out.
No, I meant that. But yes,
Oh.
also that. Also, yes, all that. So one thing that, as you guys, the Godslayers, are enjoying all these particular things in a month full of peace, getting your ducks in a row, getting ready to either decide to go see to Gayer's body disposal or jump directly into the war with the Bloodbathers. It would end on that moment where where Big Sally's sitting there crying and all the slaves are free. That's a great way to end it. But the proverbial camera will basically back out to just across the way, across the river section of land, to a place just before it breaches up into the center of the Providence, where you can see the entire landscape of Dathersport. And you would see silhouettes of a whole bunch of people, and you can't really tell who they are, but you see there's a whole bunch of people that are on their knees in front of them. And although the silhouette is mostly the figures behind them, you can actually see that the other ones are bloodbathers. Or sorry, not bloodbathers. The ones are Shankill Slaughterers and Skull Anvils. And, they remove the gag from one, and he says, "You can't do this to the gang. You have absolutely no idea what you're doing. We're going to come back, and and then he just talks and spits in the other guy's face. And the guy goes, "Actually, I don't believe you know what's going on. We're not affiliated with the gangs, you see. And because of that, he says, with the war growing, it's going to be very profitable indeed for all of us. And he lets down what looks to be something attached to a string, walks over and ties it around the guy's neck, and then just turns around and then just picks him up and sits there and uses his own body weight until he stops twitching. And then he'll drop it and he says, okay, boys, we were paid to murder these people. Finish them off. And pistols will fire off. Some will get stabbed with knives. And they just dead. And then the silhouette just sits there and flips the coin, has the bowler hat on, and just says, and right now, business is so good. And that's where I'm going to end today's game.
I got 2 25s and 19.
Wait, hold on. We need to do an outro.
That's our outro.
Thanks for watching us. Obviously, if you've gotten to this point, you've discovered this special little gem because we don't have any followers or anything right now. And we don't have any YouTube followers except for us.
No, we have like 14 followers on Twitch.
I'm impressed. Never mind. Sorry, Twitch guys. I didn't realize that. So, but thanks for coming and seeing us every week and seeing what these people go through. We're going to, as always, we're bi-weekly. So we're going to be playing Landon's game next week.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you guys the week after that. Also, and we really appreciate you coming and seeing us. Thank you very much. Mandy, time for you to plug your stream.
So, I might be, if I can remember, I'm gonna, and I'll have you guys help me do this. I'll bring my computer when we do Landon's game, but I can do reruns. So basically, if they missed seeing this live, we can rebroadcast it next week. There we go. I can English.
Huh.
It's a really cool feature that Twitch has that I sort of forgot about. I forget about it with my channel.
So basically, we could broadcast two weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Just,
It's
it's a rerun.
Yeah, it's a rerun.
All right, in that case, tune in next week for a rerun.
It'll be this one because it's our most recent. I have to, hopefully Twitch keeps it for at least a week. But I think they do. If they don't, that's dumb. And then come watch me on my channel, Madly Unique. Sometime this week or over the next couple of weeks, we'll be designing the manor, the compound. I don't know, but we'll do that. So yeah, we'll see you guys 2 weeks from now. Bye.
Bye.